reading corner of the day, doing it up Stonesy's way, Bop. Today we are doing the first episode of the Terrier Group. The Terrier Group is a brand new section of the dogs in this book. It's comprised of, let's count them together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yep, 24. 24 different breeds of dogs. All terriers, apparently. So let me give you the quick description of the Terrier Group. Dogs of the Terrier Group have in common the proclivity to kill rodents and vermin, often by digging or going around after them. The word terrier, in fact, refers to earth or terra. Some terriers are developed apart to kill rats in pit contests, and later to fight against each other. The vermin-catching terriers are roughly divided into long-legged or short-legged breeds. Now, the breed that we'll be talking about today is the Airedale Terrier. Man. Cool looking dog. Old looking dog. It looks like a dog we read in the working group, to be honest. Oh, God. Why am I so tired? I don't know why I feel so tired today. You're an idiot. You're stupid and an idiot. Hope you know that. Sorry. One of my cats fell down on himself, and now he's meowing because he's like, oh, what did I do? He's just stupid. But before I should make fun of or call anything stupid, really, I should learn of its history. Not only does it make me smarter in front of my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, or my... I don't know, I'm running out of things in this room. Curtains. But it makes me more intelligent. Now, intelligence doesn't necessarily lie in just knowing things. It also lies in knowing and teaching them to others. That's why some of the smartest people you ever meet are teachers or doctors. Though there's some teachers that ain't smart, but there's also doctors that aren't smart. So, the history of the Airedale Terrier is that it's known as the king of terriers. The Airedale is the tallest terrier. Like many terriers, it counts as Old English or black and tan. Terrier is one of the primary progenitors. These medium-sized dogs are prized of Yorkshire hunters and poachers for hunting a variety of game from water, rat to fox. The dogs are also fine to retrieve birds. Around the mid-1800s, some of these terriers around the River Aire in South Yorkshire were crossed with otter hounds in order to improve the hunting ability around water, as well as their scenting ability. The result in the dog adept for other hunting, originally called the Bingley or Waterside Terrier, but recognized as the Airedale Terrier in 1878. As they enter the world as a show dog, crosses the Irish Bull and Terriers were made in order to breed away some of the remembrance of the otter hound cross that were now considered less than beautiful. By 1900, the patriarch of the breed, Champion Master Briar, was gaining renown, as his offspring carried on its influence in America. The Airedale's size and gameness continued to win it worldwide fame as a hunter, even proving itself as a big game hunter. Its smart looks and manners won it a place as police dog and family pet, both roles it still enjoys. After World War I, however, its popularity declined, and today its reputation is greater than its numbers. So what's the temperament? How do I have this Airedale Terrier in my home? Well, the temperament of the Airedale Terrier is that among most of the vertical terriers, the Airedale is bold, playful, and adventurous. It's lively yet protective companion, and it's intelligent but often stubborn and headstrong. Some of the domineering but most babblable, reliable, and responsive to their owner's wishes. It makes a good house dog as long as it gets daily mental and physical exercise. It likes to be the head dog and may not do well with any other dog challenges the position, although they usually get along well with smaller dogs. So what's the upkeep? How do I keep this Airedale Terrier in check? Well, the upkeep is that it's an active breed that needs a chance to get vigorous exercise every day. It needs to be met with a long walk or strenuous game, or a chance to hunt and romp in the safe area. It can live outside in temperate climates, but it's better suited for indoor sleeping. Its wire coat needs combing twice weekly, plus scissoring and shaping, clipping for pets and hand stripping for show dogs. Every 1 or 2 months, clipping will layer the texture and color. Ears often need gluing as puppies in order to ensure proper shape as adults. Now, if you're a child, please cover your ears. If you're an adult or teenager who owns an Airedale Terrier, please listen up. Their major concerns are CHD, minor concerns are gastric torsion and hypothyroidism. They're occasionally seen with colonic disease. The suggested tests are for the hip and thyroid. The lifespan is 10 to 13 years. Now imagine you don't see these in front of you. What's the form? What's the function? What do they look like? Well, the Airedale Terrier is neat, upstanding, long-legged terrier, not exaggerated in any way. Strong round bone and combined strength and agility enable it to hunt the game. Its jaws are strong and punching. Gait is free and its coat is hard, dense, and wiry. It lies straight and closed, with some hair crinkling or waving. Now, for the final part of today's episode is the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst unless it comes to grooming. God, my throat is just dry today, and I don't know why. Energy levels out of 4. Exercise requirements are out of 3. Affection levels out of 3. Playfulness is out of 4. Friendliness towards dogs out of 1. Friendliness towards pets is out of 2. And friendliness towards strangers out of 3. Ease of training is also out of 3. Watchdog ability, protection ability, and sadly, grooming requirements are all out of 4. Cold and heat tolerance are out of 3, so average. Weight is about 55 pounds for both male and female Airedale Terriers. And the height of the average male Airedale Terrier is 23 inches. And for a female, it's just put down a slightly less. Which is good, because if it were feet, we'd be living in a world of giants. It's just kind of like a bulldog, to be honest. But it's not a bulldog, it's a terrier type. The next dog we'll be talking about is the American Staffordshire Terrier. Long name, very, very long name. It looks like a bulldog, but I guess it's a terrier. It's a part of the Terrier Group, but I digress. Man, kind of just like a ripoff, definitely just looks like a rip-off bulldog, though. But before I can make fun of it, or make an opinion on anything, especially if it's something I like, I should learn of its history. Not only does it make me look smart in front of my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, or heck, even my, seriously, I am running out of things. My monopoly for where I live, which I probably already said once before, but it makes me more intelligent. Now, intelligence doesn't necessarily lie in just knowing things, it also lies in knowing things and teaching them to others. That's why some of the smartest people you ever meet are teachers and doctors. Though there's some dumb teachers and there's definitely some dumb doctors. No shade towards doctors. I just know there's definitely is some dumb doctors and there's definitely some dumb teachers. So, yeah. The history of the American Staffordshire Terrier is that the American Staffordshire Terrier and the Staffordshire Bull Terrier descended from the same lines. The prototype originally sprang from a crossing the old type of bulldog with some old terrier types, probably the English Smooth Terrier, the result of aptly called the Bull Terrier, later the dubbed Staffordshire Bull Terrier. The dogs gained fame amongst fanciers in dogfighting, a popular sport despite having it declared illegal. Their fighting ability gained them passage to America in the late 1800s. They're dominated in fighting pits. They became known as Pit Bull Terrier, American Bull Terrier, and even Yankee Terrier. Americans favor the slightly bigger dog, and the English preferred. And with time, two strains diverged. In 1936, the American Kennel Company recognized the breed as the Staffordshire Terrier. The name was changed in 1972 by American Staffordshire Terrier. Docility and tractability has always been vital traits of the powerful dog and must be handled even in the midst of a dog fight. Therefore, the AM staff evolved to have a sweet and trustworthy disposition around people. Fortunately, the game dog has not often appealed to people seeking the fighting rather than loving abilities. Often in the midst of controversy, beginning in the 1980s, it became found itself a target of breed-specific laws aimed at banning and controlling certain types of dogs. Despite this, the AM staff is currently enjoying one of the most popular periods among people wanting people to have a fun-loving dog. Now that you know of that, what's the temperament? Is it really a fighter, or will it get along with my kid? Well, the temperament of the American Staffordshire Terrier is that it's typically docile and playful with its family. The American Staffordshire Terrier is also generally friendly towards strangers as long as its owner is present. It's generally a good dog with children. It is a protective breed that will be aggressive toward other dogs, especially those that challenge it. It is stubborn, tenacious, and fearless. For all its tough persona, its important thing in life is the breed of its owner's fond attention. Aw. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep this protector of the home up and running? Well, the upkeep of the American Staffordshire Terrier is that the staff needs daily outlet for its energy, preferably in the form of a long walk on a leash or a vigorous game in the yard. Although life outdoors in temperate climates, this breed is far better suited temporarily or sharing its family home. Co-care is minimal, as one of the breed's popularity considered a pit bull. Public acceptance may sometimes be low. So even they are considered pit bulls by the great writers. Now, if you're a child, please cover your ears. If you're a teenager or an adult who owns an American Staffordshire Terrier, you should listen because we're going to be talking about the health, their major concerns, minor concerns, what they're occasionally seen with, the suggested test, lifespan, and a note from 2nd edition D. Caroline Coley, PhD. Major concerns are CHD, cerebellar ataxia, and PRA. Minor concerns are elbow dysplasia, heart disease, and hyperthyroidism. They're occasionally seen with crurate, ligament rupture, allergies, hyperthyroidism. The suggested tests are hip, cardiac, elbow, thyroid, and eye. The lifespan is 12 to 14 years. And a note from the writer of this book is that CHD seldom causes problems in the symptoms in this breed. Now, for the form and function, imagine you don't see this dog in front of you. What's the form? What's the function? What does it do? Well, this stocky dog will be muscular, giving the impression that not only great strength for its size, but also grace and agility. Its gait was springy, a low center of gravity helped its feet and light. Nimbleness helped it avoid its opponent's teeth. Its own jaws are strong and great powered. Its coat is short, close, and glossy. Now, for the final part of today's episode, we are going through the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst unless it comes to grooming. Energy level, exercise requirements, playfulness, and affection level are all out of 3. Friendliness towards dogs and other pets are all out of 1. Friendliness towards strangers is out of 3. Ease of training is out of 4, which is good. Watchdog and protection ability are out of 5, which is great. Grooming requirements is out of 1, which is something we all love. Cold and heat tolerance are both out of 3, so average. The weight of a healthy male and female American Staffordshire Terrier is 57 to 67 pounds, and the height of the average male American Staffordshire Terrier is 18 to 19 inches, and female is 17 to 18 inches, unless it was feet, or else we'd be living in a world of, well, I would say giants, but this dog is only, at max, 10 to 11 inches. It's a terrier? That's a terrier breed? Huh. Never knew. The next breed we'll be talking about is the Australian Terrier. It's Australian, so, I mean, that's cool. That's a cool fact about it, but I don't know anything else really about this breed, except that it looks silly and a bit stupid. But before I can make fun of it, or, make fun of its small little height, I should learn of its history. Not only does it make me look smarter and more smarter and credible in front of my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, or the clouds that are dispersing as the thunderstorm has passed, but it makes me more intelligent. Not only does intelligence lie in knowing things, but it also lies in knowing things and teaching them to others. That's why some of the smartest people you ever meet are doctors or teachers. That's not going to be very long, as this dog doesn't have a lot of anything, really. So, the history of the Australian Terrier is that the National Terrier of Australia, this one of the smallest of working terriers, born in Tasmania and has various European breeds, it shares as much background with Silky Terrier in Tasmania, the rough-coated terrier's all-purpose companion, killing vermin and snakes, controlling livestock, and sounding the alarm at intruders. The cornucopia breeds it crosses the rootstock. Among the prosecutors, Skye, Dandie, Dinmont, Scotch, Yorkshire, Manchester Terriers. The result was a dog that was both useful and striking in appearance. The first of the breed was shown in late 1800s as a broken-coated terrier in a blackish-blue sheen. The name of the soon-to-be black and blue and tan, the toy, and the blue terrier. Then, in 1900, the rough-coated terrier, blue and tan, although mainly known for the blue and tan coloration. A head of sandy color was also found among the early representatives of the breed. Soon after, the breed had made its way to British show rings and the homes. By the 1925, it had come to America. It received American Kennel Company recognition in 1960. So, what's the temperament? Is this dog good with kids? Because it really didn't talk much about kids and if they're good or good friends with them at all. Well, the temperament of the Australian Terrier is that one of the quieter terriers, the Aussie is nonetheless a plucky, tough character, ready to go after a rodent when his chance arises. It's fun-loving and adventurous. It needs daily exercise to keep it from becoming frustrated. It's clever and generally eager to please, making it one of the more obedient terriers. It gets along fairly well with other dogs, household pets, and is reserved with strangers, reflecting Earth dog heritage. It does like to dig. A diggy dog. Love that for a dog. But what's the upkeep? How do I keep my diggy dog up and running? Well, the upkeep of the Australian Terrier is that it's an active breed that needs a good outing every day. Either a moderate walk or a rollicking game, or an off-lead run of the safe area. It's created to withstand harsh Australian conditions. It's physically able to stay outdoors in temperate, warm climates. It's also a good house dog and needs to spend time with his family. Its wire coat needs weekly combing, plus twice yearly stripping of dead hairs, regular plucking of dead hairs that will keep the coat optimal condition year-round. Some trimming around the feet will add a tidy look. Now, for the health section, if you're a child, please cover your ears. If you're a teenager or an adult that wants to know the health of the Australian Terrier, or like what to look out for, that type of stuff, please listen in. Major concerns are nothing. Minor concerns are patellar luxation and diabetes. They're occasionally seen with leg perthus, seizures, cruciate ligament rupture. They're tested for nothing, and his lifespan is 12 to 14 years. Because everything is it can happen with a dog. My dog has seizures. Now, what's the form? What's the function? Imagine this dog is in front of you. It's definitely not slightly longer than it's tall. The Australian Terrier is small, sturdy, and medium boned. Its proper proportion and weight is working terrier that should exhibit a ground-covering gait and hard condition. Its weatherproof coat is made up of short, soft undercoat and a harsh, straight outer coat. It's about 2.5 inches long, shorter than tail on the tail and lower legs. It sports a ruff around the neck and top knot of longer hair adds a keen, intelligent expression. Now, for the final part of today's video is the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is the worst, and 1 is the worst unless it comes to grooming. Energy level. Okay, God, this is a lot. Energy level, exercise requirements, playfulness, affection level, friendliness towards dogs and other pets, and grooming requirements are all at a 3. All fantastic except for the grooming. It's at a 3. That's awful. Friendliness towards strangers and ease of training are at a 2. So lower than average, but that's good for ease of training. Watchdog abilities out of 5, but protection abilities out of 1. Cold and heat tolerance are both out of 3, so average. The weight of the healthy Australian Terrier is 12 to 14 pounds, and the height is 10 to 11 inches, both male and female. And it's thank goodness it's not feet, or else we'd be living in a world of giants. What are you doing? Sorry, that's why I'm so confused. What are you doing? What are you trying to... And you're sitting on my book. Hi. What you doing? You're shaking? You okay? What's up? Oh, you're just dazed for a second. Oh, you're all good. You're all good. You're an old Chihuahua. One day I'm going to have to make a video on Chihuahua and you're probably going to be dead. And I'm going to be sad. You know that? Oh, you're a good dog. You're a good dog. You want to go lay down somewhere else? He's been laying down with me since the last episode, so. Because we just got through a freak thunderstorm. Oh, nope, you can't. No, okay. Alright, love you. Bye. Bye-bye. I don't like recording videos with a blanket on me, so I guess it kind of works out. What also works out is that next time we'll be reading about the Bedlington Terrier. Huh. This dog got a big forehead. Or, well, it has so much wool, it looks like it has a big forehead. Makes you wonder why you don't shave it down, but maybe it has an abnormal skull. But before I can make fun of, or have any assumptions on anything, I should learn of its history. Not only does it make me look smarter or more credible in front of my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, and, well, basically whoever the heck I talk to, but it makes me more intelligent. Now, intelligence doesn't necessarily lie in just knowing things, it also lies in knowing things and teaching them to others. Though that is my opinion, and I do hold its solidarity. But, yeah, without further ado, let's begin. Oh, sorry, wrong intro. Oops. Without further ado, let's learn the history of the Bedlington Terrier. The history of the Bedlington Terrier is that one of the most unusual members of the Terrier Group is the Bedlington Terrier. It's an English product, hailing from Henny Hills in Northumberland. Its exact origin is obscure. In the late 18th century, the strain in some terriers that developed and became known as Rotten-Three Terriers. In 1825, Joseph Ainsley of the town of Bedlington bred 2 of the Rotten-Three Terriers and christened their offspring the Bedlington Terrier. Occasional crosses of other breeds arguably include the Whippet for speed and Dandie Dinmont Terrier for coats. And no documented evidence of such crosses exists, and some breed historians assert that the crosses were never made. Whatever the process, the result was an agile game terrier that effective in badger, fox, otter, rats, and even rabbits. By the late 1800s, the breed had stepped into the show ring as well as the homes of more elite. At one time, the liver color was popular, although the blue has since passed into popularity. The Bedlington's lamb-like appearance draws many admirers, but the emphasis on show trimming eventually dampened the breed's popularity as a show dog. With more easily available grooming tools and instructions, the Bedlington has regained much of its popularity with the public. So, it's a show dog, it's a diva. What's the temperament? Is it diva? Is it going to be a diva around my kids? Well, the Bedlington Terrier's temperament is that the Bedlington is among the soft terriers, not only in looks but feel and temperament. It's companionable, demonstrative, and loyal. It enjoys its creature comforts and a fairly quiet house dog. Even though it's seldom initiate a fight, it does not allow itself to be intimidated by other dogs, and it will be a scrappy fighter when pushed. It will give chase to small animals outdoors, but it can easily coexist with them indoors. Ah, that's good. Doesn't say anything about treatment with kids. So, what's the upkeep? How do I keep my Bedlington Terrier, fancy, quiet dog intact? Well, the upkeep of the Bedlington Terrier is that it needs daily exercise in a safe place. It loves to run and chase. Needs to be met with a good long walk or vigorous romp. It's not a breed that will live outside. Its coat needs combing once or twice weekly, plus scissoring in the shape of the coat every other month. Hair that shed tends to cling to the other hair rather than shedding. So if you're a child, please cover your ears. If you're an adult or teenager, listen in, as we're going to be talking about the health of the Bedlington Terrier, and that could mean good things, bad things, etc., etc. So, the major concerns of the Bedlington Terrier in health is copper toxicosis. Minor concerns are retinal dysplasia, renal, cortical hypoplasia, and dyschiasis. They're occasionally seen with patellar luxation. The suggested tests are DNA for copper toxicosis, liver biopsy, and eye. Their lifespan is 12 to 14 years. Now, Stonesy, I don't have a kid, and I don't got eyes, so I can't see in front of me. So, what's the form? What's the function? Well, the Bedlington Terrier is that this graceful leash dog and distinctive silhouette, his arched loin and racy outline gave it a great speed and agility, a wolf in lamb's clothing. The Bedlington is unraveled in its ability to chase and fight agile but tough quarry. Its gait is light and stringy. Its coat is a mixture of hard and soft hair, standing off the skin, according to good protection as well as outstanding appearance. Now, for the final part of today's episode, the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is the worst, and 1 is the worst unless it comes to grooming. Oh god, that's a list. Energy level, exercise requirements, playfulness, affection level, friendliness towards dogs are all out of 3, so average. Friendliness towards other pets is out of 2, lower than average. Friendliness towards strangers is out of 4, so pretty friendly. Ease of training is out of 2. Watchdog ability is out of 5, with the protection ability out of 1. For the first time in the series, we have finally met the worst of the worst of the worst when it comes to grooming requirements, because it's out of 5. This dog is a walking hedge. Not a good thing. Cold and teeth on are out of 3, because, no trade-offs. Weight of a healthy male and female Bedlington Terrier is 17 to 23 pounds. The height of the average male Bedlington Terrier is 16.5 inches, and a female Bedlington Terrier is 15.5 inches, not feet, or else we'd be living in a world of giants. Don't you love it when I say not so giant as it is, blah, and then show you what the next dog is? No. It's a small dog. Small, scruffy dog. And that breed of dog is the Border Terrier. A little guy. The pictures on the screen have no justice for the pictures in my hands. They're a little dopey and silly looking. Now, to start it off, the history of the Border Terrier is that it's perhaps the oldest of Britain's terriers. The Border Terriers originated around the Cheviot Hills, forming the border country between Scotland and England. The dog originated to chase dispatch the fox that were considered a nuisance to farmers. The smallest of the long-legged terriers, the Border Terrier, had to be fast enough to keep up with the horse, yet small enough to go in the fox once it had been in the ground, or a foxhole. The first evidence of these dogs date from the 18th century. Its progenitors are unknown, although it's probably related to the Dandie Dinmont. The breed was once known to be a croquet terrier, among other names. Ooh. But the name Border Terrier, taken from the Border Hunt, was adopted in 1870 by the time. The breed had risen from its utilitarian roots, weird word, to take a value placed alongside the foxhounds and the gentry's elegant foxhunts. The Border Hunt had a long association with these game yet amiable terriers, whose job it was to dispatch the fox. The first Border Terrier was shown in the 1870s. The breed was recognized by the AKC, the American Kennel Company, in 1930. Less flashy than many other terriers, the Border continued to be better appreciated by patrons of the hunt more than of the show ring. In recent years, it was experienced a rise in popularity and is fast becoming a fairly popular pet and successful show dog. Interesting. So, raised as a hunter, still kind of is, but, it's kind of for show? How strange. But if I want one of these hunters in my home, what's the temperament? What does it do? Well, the temperament of the Border Terrier is that it's one of the few terriers bred to run in a pack. The Border is one of the most amiable, trackable of the group. It's indistinctive, busy, friendly, and biddable. It does like the hunt and can be independent. Ingredients that make for a dog that may tend to roam if given the chance. It's generally good with other dogs and cats, but it's not with the rodents. But it's very good with children. It makes a good companion for people of all ages. It digs, some bark, some are talented escape artists. Interesting. So a good hunter, a decent roamer, and pretty good escape artist. Watch out, people who own them. Now, what's the upkeep? How do I keep them in check? Well, the upkeep of the Border Terrier is that the Border likes activity. It needs either a good walk on a leash, a vigorous game session, or an off-lead expedition in a safe area every day. It can live outdoors in temperate climates. It does much better when it's allowed to divide its time between house and yard. Its harsh coat needs brushing weekly, plus stripping of dead hairs about 4 times yearly to maintain its clean outline. Clean outline, and yet it looks so dirty constantly. Now for the worst part of it, what's its health? How do we keep it up, and what's its concerns? Well, it luckily actually has no major concerns, the only minor concern being patellar luxation. It's occasionally seen with CHD and heart defects. It's just a demonstrated fever, hip, and cardiac, which makes sense as it is small. And its lifespan is 12 to 15 years, which is pretty good for the Terrier Group, if I have a good memory. Yeah, I mean, pretty good, pretty good. But in an average home, what's its form? What's its function? What does it do? Well, the form and function of the Border Terrier is that it's a medium bone, slightly taller than long. Its long legs impart on speed, agility, and endurance, necessary to follow the horse all sorts of terrain, whereas its fairly narrow body allows it to squeeze through narrow passages in the pursuit of a fox. Its gait displays good length and stride. Its coat consists of a short, dense undercoat covered in a very wiry, straight, somewhat broken outer coat. It should conform to the body. Its hide is very thick and loose-fitting, affording a protection from the bites of its quarry, foxes. The Border is known for its distinctive outer head, and its alert expression matches its alert demeanor. I wouldn't call it an otter head. I would call it a pretty normal dog head, to be honest. Well, it's time for the final part, which is the weird little tier list they always have. It's at a glance. So 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst. Now, let's get this done. Now, this is pretty easy here. So the energy level, exercise requirements, playfulness, affection level, and friendliness towards dogs is all at a 3. So pretty average for the dog. Friendliness towards other pets is out of 2, which makes sense with its fox-like fox hunting age. Friendliness towards strangers is at a 3, which is good. Ease of training and watchdog ability are both at a 4, though protection ability is at a 1, so easy to train, difficult to attack. Grooming requirements, cold tolerance, and heat tolerance are all average at a nice 3, though grooming requirements is a little up there. The healthy weight of a male Border Terrier should be 13 to 15.5 pounds, and a female should be 11.5 to 14 pounds. Wonder why the females are a little bit, I was going to say weightless, but that's not the right word to use. I can't think of the word. Anyways. And the height is 10 to 11 inches, because if it was feet, we'd be living in a world of giants. Oh, wow, the next dog is pretty popular with a TikTok trend that's been going around as of late. And it is the Bull Terrier. You know what I mean? Like, when I said it's from a famous video, the one TikTok video. Yeah, look at him. It's the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, you know? Sounds like I'm singing the Flintstones. Anyways, big, dopey, dumb looking, and I'm pretty sure is the target dog? I'm pretty sure the Bull Terrier is the target dog. The dog, seen on Target, but anyways, I may be correct. Anyways, the history of the Bull Terrier target dog is that the bull baiting and dog fighting were long considered a great entertainment by many Europeans, and patrons are constantly trying to achieve the ultimate fighting dog. Around 1835, a cross between the Bulldog and Old English Terrier produced a particularly adept pit dog known as the Bull Terrier. A later cross to the Spanish Pointer added needed size, and the result of the tenacious, strong, yet agile dog that became to dominate the pits. As interest in the expedition of dogs grew in England, a little attention was paid to these dogs so long associated with the lower echelons of society. With the abolition of dog fighting, however, some Bull Terrier patrons turned to this new venue to compete with their dogs, and they began to breed for appearance. Around 1860, James Hinks crossed the Bull and Terrier with the white English Terrier and the Dalmatian, producing an all-white strain he called Bull Terriers. The new all-white strain, immediately succeeded in the ring, captured the attention of the public. They became a fashionable companion for young gentlemen who wanted a good-looking masculine dog for the sides. The dogs gained a reputation for defending themselves, but not provoking a fight, when they're thus dubbed the White Caviar. I'm sorry, not Caviar, Cavalier. The dogs gradually became more streamlined, and the Bull Terrier's distinctive head evolved around 1900. Crosses of the Staffordshire Bull Terriers reintroduced color into the breed, as well accepted at first, but it finally gained equal status as a separate American Kennel Company, AKC, variety in 1936. The white variety still continues as a more popular variety, but both colors have enjoyed great popularity as show dogs and pets. Their comical nature and expression wins them many friends, and they have proven to be very successful in movies and advertising. So, and with that final thing, I think they are the Target dog? Like the dog you see on, like, Target? Like, at Target? Well, not at Target, but you know what I mean. But you want to own a mascot for yourself. So what's the temperament? Are they good with kids? Well, the temperament of the Bull Terrier is that it's exuberant, comical, playful, assertive, and very mischievous, describes the Bull Terrier. It is an imaginative breed that often sees things its own way and is stubborn to the end. It needs daily physical and mental exercise, lets it exercise its powerful jaws at your home. For all its tough bravado, it is an extremely sweet-natured and affectionate and devoted breed. It can be aggressive with other dogs and small animals. Uh-oh, that ain't gonna be good looking when it comes to the at-a-glance tier list. Alrighty, but what's the upkeep? How do I keep my mascot, aggressive doggy, in check? Well, the Bull Terrier needs to be entertained, either in a good exercise session or mental stimulation every day, preferably both. It's an active breed that enjoys a good run, but it's best to run it only in a safe area. It should not stay outdoors except in temperate weather, but it should live primarily as a house dog with access to a yard. Coat care is minimal. That's some good, at least. Then again, it was brought up as a fighting dog, so it only makes sense that it would be super, parlez-vous français, aggressive. But for the worst part, health. What are the major, minor, and, all the other concerns that could take our little friend away? Well, the major concerns in the Bull Terrier are sadly apparent. Deafness in the white ones, for some reason. It literally says deafness in whites. Huh. Kidney problems, hereditary nephritis, and renal dysplasia. Minor concerns look like heart problems, SAS, mitral stenosis, compulsive behavior, and allergies. They're occasionally seen with patellar luxation. The suggested test when you take them to the doc once a year is hearing for the whites, UP and UC ratio for the kidney function, and cardiac thyroid. And their lifespan is 11 to 14, which it's a bit of a gamble, because it could be decent, but it also could be short. Now, for the form and function of the Bull Terrier, the Bull Terrier is I almost called him a caviar. The Cavalier Gladiator. A good-looking, tough character, is strongly built and muscular, longer than it's tall. Muscle mass combined with a relatively low center of gravity make it difficult for the opponents to knock it off its feet. Its distinctive head not only shows off its keen, determined expression, but also its great jaw strength. Its gait is smooth and easy, its skin is tight, and a short coat, flat and harsh. Now, for the final section of today, the at-a-glance. So, 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it goes to grooming. Now, energy levels out of 4, high energy. Exercise requirements are out of 3, pretty average. Playfulness is out of 5, very playful. Affection levels out of 3, pretty average. Friendliness towards other dogs, oh god. Friendliness towards dogs, out of 1. Friendliness towards other pets and strangers is out of 3, so pretty average. Ease of training is out of 1, so pretty easy to train. Watchdog abilities out of 5. Protection abilities out of 4, which is really good. Grooming requirements is out of 1, which is awesome. Cold tolerance and heat tolerance are both out of 3, which is average. The healthy weight of a male Bull Terrier should be 60 to 70 pounds, and a female Bull Terrier is 50 to 60 pounds. Very surprised there's not something like, oh, but if it's a white Bull Terrier, blah, blah, blah. And the average height of both a male and female Bull Terrier is 21 to 22 inches, because if it was feet, we'd be living in a world of giants. Huh. Well, sticking with the theme of having celebrities, next dog we'll be reading about is a huge celebrity breed that you may know if you like those weird little musicals. And it is the Cairn Terrier,
which I believe is the dog they use in The Wizard of Oz? I think that's right. I believe that's correct. Someone fact check me. I'm not too sure. Anyways, it's fluffy, it's small, it's cute. I think by its size, it may be a teacup pup, but we'll learn. And anyways, the history of the teacup pup, or the Cairn, I keep calling it the Cairn, but the Cairn Terrier, whatever, is that one of a family of short-legged terriers developed in the Scottish Isle of Skye. The Cairn Terrier probably still resembles an ancestral form of the greater decree of others descended from the same stock. These dogs seem to have existed since the 15th century and were used to hunt fox, badger, and otter. The dogs were adept at bolting otters from the cairns, piles of stone that served as landmarks or memorials. Oh, okay, so cairns. The dogs came in from a variety of colors, ranging from white to gray to red, and were all considered Scotch Terriers when they began to show their show ring. In 1873, they were divided into Dandie, Dinmont, and Skye Terriers, with the Cairn in the latter group. This group was later again divided into Skye and hard-haired Terriers in 1881, and the Highland White of the breed, eventually known as the Cairn at one time. The Cairn was called the short-haired Skye when the Cairn Terrier or Skye, and finally around 1912, the Cairn Terrier, who cares? Some of the most influential early Cairns were all white, but white as well as a crossing of the West Highland Whites was banned by the 1920s. The breed became quite popular in England and fairly popular in America, gaining the greatest fame as the dog playing Toto in The Wizard of Oz. I knew it! It's one of the more natural and less sculpted terriers. The breed was highly regarded by those who appreciate the working terrier. Perhaps the motto of the British Breed Club sums it up best. The best little pal in the world. I knew I was right. I knew it. Anyways. What's their temperament? Well, I want my little Toto and that little dog, too, to live with me. Well, the temperament of the Cairn Terrier is that the Cairn and the essence of terrier, plucky, spirited, bold, and inquisitive, hardy, clever, stubborn, and scrappy. It's responsive to the owner's wishes, however, and tries to please. In fact, it's surprisingly sensitive. This breed can be a good house pet as long as it is given daily physical and mental exercise in a safe area. It enjoys playing with children and is tough enough to withstand some rough housing, and aggressive with other dogs and chases small animals. It loves to sniff, explore, and hunt. It digs some bark. It digs some bark. That's a weird sentence. It literally is, the sentence is, it digs, the weird apostrophe with the comma above it, some bark. Why don't you just use and some bark? Oh, that's weird. Anywho, the upkeep. What's the upkeep? How do I keep Toto in check? Well, the upkeep of the Cairn Terrier is, despite its small size, the Cairn needs outdoor exercise every day. Either a moderate walk on a leash, a fun game in the yard, or an excursion in a safe area. It can live outdoors in temperate climates, but it does better sleeping indoors. Its wire coat needs combing once weekly, plus stripping of dead hair at least twice yearly. Now for the health. What's so bad about Toto? Well, the major concerns are actually nothing, which is good. Minor concerns are portoclavicle shunt, glaucoma, and associated with or without ocular melanosis, and CMO. They're occasionally seen with GCL. Their suggested tests are GCL, which I don't know what that means. And the lifespan is 12 to 14 years, which is pretty good for the Terrier Group. Now, what's the form, what's the function, what's it look like without a picture? Now, the form and function of the Cairn Terrier, besides being a great movie dog, is that it's a working terrier. It should be hardy, game, and active, short-legged and longer than it's tall, but it's not as low on the ground as a Sealyham or Scottish Terriers. Its build enables it to fit into close quarters in pursuit of its quarry. Its head is shorter and wider than any of the terrier, giving a good jaw strength. Its weather-resistant coat consists of soft, closed undercoat and a profuse, harsh outer coat. Furnishing around the face adds to its somewhat foxy expression. Cute. Now, for the final part of today's episode, the at a glance. It's the tier list. So, besides my phone going off, which makes me want to throw it, 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it goes to grooming. Now, the energy level is at a 4, which is really high, or pretty high. Exercise requirements, playfulness, affection level, and friendliness towards dogs are at a 3, so average. Friendliness towards other pets and strangers and their ease of training is at a 1, so, you know, kind of weary of other pets and strangers, which is good, but their ease of training is also really low there, so that's good. Watchdog ability is at a 5, which is one of the highest considering it's such a small animal. Protecting ability is at a 1, I guess, to counter it. This isn't a video game, it's real life. Anyway, oh, that's not good. The grooming requirements are at a 3, a lot of grooming required. Cold and heat tolerance are at a 3, so pretty average. The weight of a healthy male Cairn Terrier is 14 pounds. Female is 13 pounds. The average height of a male Cairn Terrier is 10 inches, and female is 9.5 inches, unless it was feet, in which case we would be living in a world of giants. Oh, that's a really ugly terrier. Well, you guys will learn about this ugly terrier next time, and it is the Dandie Dinmont Terrier. Doo-da, doo-da. Dandie Dinmont Terrier. Oh, doo-da day. Alright, the Dandie Dinmont Terrier. And you guys could probably see my weird reaction from the last episode, because, well, someone shaved my poodle and gave it a different body. As that, I mean, it's really weird looking. It's a weird looking dog. Nothing I can say else besides that. Now, what's the history? What can we learn about the Dandie Dinmont Terrier? Do-do-do-da-day. History of the Dandie Dinmont Terrier stands out as the most unusual terrier in appearance. Yeah, its roots are as quintessentially terrier as any. It first appeared as a distinct type of terrier in the 18th century around the border country of Scotland and England. There are many owned by farmers, gypsies, and valued of drawing and killing otters, badgers, and foxes. At one time, they were known as Catclew, Hindley, or Pepper and Mustard Terriers. Most were well known of these dogs were owned by James Davidson, named almost all his dogs either Pepper or Mustard along the sub-identifying adjective. Davidson and his dogs were believed by some to have been models for Sir Walter Scott's characters of Dandie Dinmont and his dogs in his novel Guy Mannering, published in 1814. Maybe a book we'll read in the future. The dogs became known as Dandie Dinmont Terriers, doo-dah. A letter written by James Davidson proclaimed that Dandies descended from two of his dogs named Tar and Pepper, and one time the breed was included to be a general family of Scotch Terriers, which was encompassed several short-legged terriers now recognized as distinct breeds. The Dandie was recognized separately from this group in 1873. The Dandie Dinmont was ever extremely popular and remains one of the lesser-known terriers. An old Scottish saying which says, "A dandy looks at you as though he's forgotten more than you ever knew." Wow. Interesting. It has its own saying, and it's in its own book. Nice. Now, what's the temperament? How can I get this author-bound animal into my presence? Well, the temperament of the Dandie Dinmont Terrier is no dandified dog. It is rough and tumble and ready for the hunt. Yet it functions well as a dignified house pet, affectionate but not dotting. It's a loyal companion suitable for people of all ages, but it does not need daily exercise to keep it from being frustrated. It is intelligent and very independent. It tends to be reserved with strangers and aggressive towards strange dogs. Some dig. Do you dig it? Alright. Now, what's the upkeep? This dog doesn't have much hair, so I bet not much, but it's still a hunter and a terrier, so maybe some. The upkeep of the Dandie Dinmont Terrier is that the Dandie enjoys a chance to hunt around and explore a safe area and needs a moderate walk to stay in condition. It does its best as an indoor-outdoor dog and should sleep inside. Its coat needs combing twice weekly, plus regular scissoring and shaping. Striping for show dogs is done on almost continual but light basis. But for pets can be done by stripping or clipping about 4 times a year when clipped. The coat will lose its characteristic texture and color. Now, for the worst part, the health. What makes our Dandie Dinmont Terrier a little ineffective? Now, the major concerns are nothing, which is good. Minor concerns are intervertebral disc disease and glaucoma, so I guess something with the legs, which makes sense, they are close to the ground. They're occasionally seen with cheletella mites, so I guess a type of mites that you only get from close to the ground. Suggested tests are on the eyes, and the lifespan is 11 to 13, which is not as good as the other terriers, but still pretty good. The form and function of the Dandie Dinmont Terrier is that unlike the prototypical terrier, the Dandie is made up of a series of curves ending in a similar shaped tail of moderate length. The Dandie is almost twice as long as tall, constructed to go around over enough after tough quarry. Its hind legs are definitely longer than its front legs. Its gait is free and easy. Distinctive coat made up of 2/3 hardish, not wiry hair, and 1/3 soft hair. It's about 2 inches in length. The head is covered with soft, silky hair, lending to the appearance of the large head. Top knot also enhances the expression, which is determined, dignified, soft, and wise. The tassel and the ear tips are the same texture and color as the top knot, and enhance the look. Now, for the final part of today's episode, the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is the worst, and 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming. Now, this is a long list. Energy level, exercise requirements, playfulness, affection level, friendliness towards dogs, and other pets are all at a 3, so pretty average across the board. Friendliness towards strangers, however, is at a 1. Ease of training is at a 2, so a little easier than average. Watchdog ability is out of 4 with a protection ability of 1. Grooming requirements, sadly, is out of 3, as it is part show dog. Cold and heat tolerance are out of 3, so pretty average. The weight of a healthy male or female Dandie Dinmont Terrier is 18 to 24 pounds, and the height of a healthy Dandie Dinmont Terrier is 8 to 11 inches, because if it were feet, we'd be living in a world of giants. Well, that's interesting. The next breed of animal we're going to be reading has 2 variants of it, which is interesting, and are going to compile into 2 of its own separate episodes, and that is Fox Terrier, smooth. Now, it should be kind of weird that smooth is in parentheses at all, but the next animal we're reading is also the Fox Terrier, but, well, we'll learn about next episode. It looks cute. I think it's the dog from, I don't know, a lot of the dogs look the same to me, but it's cute. It's adorable. It's got a nice little pickle patch on its back. Anyways, what's the history? What else do we know about the Fox Terrier, smooth? Or I'll just say it's the smooth Fox Terrier, which is also a tongue twister, but whatever. Anyways, the history of the smooth Fox Terrier is that the smooth Fox Terrier's ancestors were not documented, but the breed was certainly known by 1800. It was already popular before the advent of dog shows. Its company foxhound packs of dislodged foxes that had taken over. Predominantly white dogs are preferred because they have been more easily distinguished from the quarry in dim lighting. Some speculation exists that the smooth and wire Fox Terriers arose from distant backgrounds, with the smooth descending from the smooth-coated black and tan, the Bull Terrier, and even the Greyhound and Beagle. The smooth Fox Terriers were among the first breeds to enter the show ring. Classified initially as the sporting breeds, the 2 varieties were interbred extensively at one time, and the practice gradually declined because the 2 breeds had long since deceased but would be crossed by the latter part of the 1900s. The AKC, American Kennel Company, divided them into separate breeds in 1985. Wow, maybe this whole episode's going to be quick, because that's all the history. But what's the temperament? How do I keep this short history dog in check? Well, the temperament of the smooth Fox Terrier is that it's energetic, inquisitive, bold, feisty, playful, mischievous, independent, and adventurous. Describe the Fox Terrier. This breed lives at run, chase, and explore. It's usually fairly reserved with strangers and tends to bark and dig. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep this pretty average dog in check by the seams of it? Well, the upkeep is that the smooth Fox Terrier is energetic and cannot be ignored. As an active dog, it will do much to exercise itself given the room, and enjoys a vigorous game or walk, as well as an off-lead outing in a safe area. Even though the breed can live outdoors in a warm climate, it does better living in the house or playing in the yard. Smooth coats consist of weekly brushing to remove shedding hair. In fact, the smooth shed more than the wires. Some straining of the ears may be necessary as puppies for proper adult shape to develop. Now, for the worst part of it, what's their health? What do we have to worry about our smooth Fox Terrier friends? Well, the major concerns are thankfully nothing. Minor concerns are legislation, dyschasis? I don't know how to say that. Cataracts and leg perthus. They're occasionally seen with deafness and patellar luxation. Their suggested test when you take them to the doctor once every 2 months is on the eyes. Their lifespan is 10 to 13 years, which is not really good for terriers. Anyways, what's the form? What's the function? What they look like without the pictures? Well, the form and function of the smooth Fox Terrier is that the smooth Fox Terrier is a square proportion, standing over a lot of ground, but with a short back. Its conformation combines speed, endurance, and power, enabling it to gallop and stay with the horses and bounds during the hunt and follow a fox up a narrow passage. The gait while trotting gets most of its propulsion from the rear quarters. The expression, like the attitude, is keen. The carriage is alert and expectant. The coat is flat, hard, and dense, also with a short, fine undercoat. Now for the final part of today's episode, the at a glance, or the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming. Your energy level with the Fox Terrier is out of 5. Exercise requirements is out of 3, so pretty average. Playfulness and affection level are both out of 4, so pretty playful, pretty need a lot of affection. Friendliness towards dogs is out of 3, so pretty average. Friendliness towards other pets is out of 2, so a little lower than average. Friendliness towards strangers and their ease of training is out of 4, so pretty friendly towards strangers, pretty difficult to train. Watchdog ability is out of 5, with a debuff of a protection ability of 1. Grooming requirements is out of 1, which is good, though, and the cold tolerance and heat tolerance out of 3, so pretty average. The healthy weight of a male Fox Terrier, or smooth Fox Terrier, is 17 to 19 pounds, and a female is 15 to 17 pounds. The healthy height of a smooth Fox Terrier should not exceed 15.5 inches for males and smaller for females. I mean, literally, it just says smaller. Well, next time we'll be learning about the Fox Terrier as well. But what kind of Fox Terrier? Well, it is
Fox Terrier again. Wired. This one's wired. Shoot it. It's gonna find all of our illegal stuff.
Nope, not a police dog. The Fox Terrier wire is exactly like the Fox Terrier, but just different hair. I think. Well, we'll actually know better from the history of the Fox Terrier, the wired Fox Terrier, is that it's the ultimate show dog. The wire Fox Terrier has its effective hunting dog. Its forebears are adept in bolting and is perhaps dispatching game, especially fox. It is gone to ground. Some speculation exists that the smooth and wire Fox Terriers arose from distant backgrounds, with the wire descending from the rough-coated black and tan terrier of Wales, not the animal, but the place. The wire entered the show ring about 15 to 20 years after the smooth made its debut. The two varieties were interbred extensively at one time, mainly at the objective of improving the wire variety by decreasing its size, increasing the amount of white on its coat, and imparting the sleeker outline. Its objective is met quite early. The wire Fox Terrier became extremely popular the years following World War II. In 1985, 100 years after the establishment of the American Fox Terrier Club, the AKC, American Kennel Company, divided the Fox Terrier into two separate breeds. The century had made many triumphs for the breed, both as show dog and a pet. The split into two varieties seemed a logical step because they were no longer interbred. Sorry. What's the temperament? How do I keep this similarly historied animal in check? Well, they're a true live wire. The wire Fox Terrier is always up for adventure. The breed loves to play, explore, run, hunt, and chase. It can be mischievous and independent and may dig and bark. It is usually fairly reserved with strangers. The wire has a reputation for being somewhat scrappier with other dogs compared to the smooth. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep my wire Fox Terrier in check? So many tongue twisters today. Well, the wire Fox Terrier's upkeep is that it must have daily exercise. It would do much to exercise itself given the room, but it profits from a good walk on a leash, a vigorous play session, or an off-lead outing in a safe area. This breed can live outdoors in a temperate or warm climate, but it does better in an indoor dog with access to a secure yard. The wire coats needs combing 2 to 3 times weekly, plus shaping every 3 months. Shaping for pets is by clipping, and for show dogs by stripping. Clipping softens the coat and dulls the color. Some training into the ears may be necessary as puppies for proper adult shape to develop. Now, for the bad part of the episode, the Fox Terrier's health. What's something that can take down or hurt my dog? Well, their major concerns, luckily sharing the same as the smooth Fox Wire, or Fox Terrier, dang it, is their major concerns are nothing. Minor concerns are lens luxation, dyschasis, cataract, and leg paresis. They're occasionally seen with deafness and patellar luxation. Suggested tests are for the eyes and lifespan 10 to 13 years, which I think is an exact copy of the smooth Fox Terrier. Their form and function is that they're short back to a square proportion, but at the same time standing over a lot of ground. Its confrontation combines speed, endurance, and power, enabling it to gallop and stay with the horses and hounds during the hunt and follow a fox up a narrow passage. The gait while trotting gets most of its propulsion from the rear quarters. The expression, like the attitude, is keen. Carriage is alert and expectant. The coat is dense, wiry, broken, and twisted, almost appearing like coconut matting. Goodness, coconut matting with a short, fine undercoat. The outer coat may be crinkled, but it should not be curly. Then why is it called wired? I guess it's not called curly Fox Terrier. That's in the next episode. Joking, of course. Now, for the final part of today's episode, the at a glance, or as I call it, the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming. The energy level is at a 4, so pretty high. Exercise requirements is at a 3, so pretty average. Playfulness and affection level is at a 4, so pretty high. Friendliness towards dogs is at a 1. Friendliness towards other pets is at a 2. Friendliness towards strangers is at a 4, so weirdly friendly with strangers. Ease of training is at a 4, so not very easy to train. Watchdog ability is out of 5, so pretty good watchdog with a debuff of protection ability out of 1. That is terrible. Grooming requirements of a 4, which is super high. And cold and heat tolerance, which is out of 3, so pretty average. The healthy weight of a wire Fox Terrier male is 17 to 19 pounds. Female is 15 to 17 pounds. and the healthy height of a Fox Terrier wire male should not exceed 15.5 inches, and for female, it just says smaller. Thank goodness it doesn't say feet or inches, because if it was feet, we'd be living in a world of giants. This dog has a name, a strange name, and I don't understand why it gets a name while all the others don't. And it is
Glen of Imaal Terrier. You see what I mean by it's weird that he has a name but no one else does? It's strange, ain't it?
Anywho,
Glen is a very silly, short.
honestly, he looks like a short version of the. Let's see. I have a page of it somewhere in here. The Bedlington Terrier, like that kind of. I don't know. She's real short, or he's real short. I'm sorry, Glen. There can't be no female Glens, I'm assuming. But yeah, what's the history of Glen? Tell me about you, Glen. The history of Glen the Imaal Terrier, or of Imaal Terrier. Ireland is a land known for its lush vistas, but not of all of Ireland is cloaked in emerald. The Glen area, in country Wicklow, is a bleak land strewn with rocks in which people toil and make a meager living. But Ireland is also a land known for its terriers and leprechauns, and the Glen area is known for one special magical terrier, the Glen of Imaal Terrier, which is harsh land a dog and earned its keep. The plucky terriers did so by tackling rats, badgers, and foxes, entertaining the men by fighting in the pits by night, and working for the women as turn-spit dogs by day. There is a dog with courage to face off against a badger underground with a stamina to run for mile after mile in a turn-spit of a hot kitchen. On top of that, the Glen of Imaal Terrier had the sparkling personality that made it part of the family. Some say only a leprechaun could emerge from such a past with such a rosy attitude. Only few turn-spit breeds survived into the 20th century, partly because they weren't deemed illustrious and intriguing enough to preserve and develop through dog shows. The Glen of Imaal Terrier was largely bypassed in the rush to promote new breeds, allowing it to retain natural traits rather than evolve into a fashion plate. In 1934, it became one of the first terrier breeds recognized by the Irish Kennel Club, IKC. Most Glen shows required the working certificate in which the dog had to follow extricate a badger in a maze of tunnels. Keep it quiet all the while. It wasn't until the 1980s that a concerted effort was made to foster the breed in America. The Glen of Imaal Terrier Club of America was formed in 1986, and the American Kennel Company, AKC, admitted the breed to the miscellaneous class in 2001. It became a full-fledged member of the Terrier Group in 2004. Well, what's the temperament of the leprechaun Glen? So basically, this is a leprechaun? Huh. Well, what's the temperament? How do I keep my leprechaun in check? Well, a big dog and short legs. A Glen is a dog of big ideas and never short ways to achieve them. Spirited, inquisitive, courageous breed, always ready for a game and hunt. Less excitable than most terriers, and nonetheless an active dog. However, once given its daily dose of activity, it's content to snuggle by your side. At home, the Glen is good-natured and gentle with family members, with childlike exuberance. It especially enjoys the companionship of children. Some Glens can be a dog aggressive. Glens learn quickly, but may not always do their task. They're not inclined to bark much. Don't bark, great with kids, need a lot of exercise. Sounds like good. But what's the upkeep? How do I keep Glen in check? Glen is large enough to make part of most family activity, and small enough to take almost anywhere. It deals well in inclement weather. It is not a fan of hot weather. Regardless, it should live outside with the family. It wants to be wherever its people are, and may go to great efforts to join them. The Glen tends to stay around on walks, but because it tends to be fearless in the face of oncoming automobiles or threatening dogs, it loves a good hunt and fresh scent and good chase. It should not be allowed to lead unsupervised. Glens are not usually great swimmers. Shouldn't be allowed near deep water until you know they can swim. Coat needs stripping every 2 times a year, but otherwise easily maintained. Now, for the worst part of it, the health. What hurts Glen? Still so weird to say its name. Major concerns are PRA. Minor concerns are CHD. They're occasionally seen with nothing. Their suggested tests are on the eye and hip every 2 months when you take them for the test, and their lifespan is 10 to 14 years. Pretty average. What's the form? What's the function? What do they look like without the pictures? Longer than tall, the Glen's short, bowed front legs, well-muscled loin, rising top line, and strong rear allow it to dig and then get adequate leverage to back out of the hole, dragging a struggling badger that might weigh more than the Glen itself. Medium length coat is harsh, and soft undercoat, and is less prone to catch birds than a longer, softer coat. Strong tail provides a sturdy handle for pulling Glen from a hole. Unlike most terriers, barking while working is discouraged. and his working terrier is not sacrificed form for fashion. Now, for the final part of today's episode, the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst unless it comes to grooming. Energy level and exercise requirements are out of 3, so pretty average. Playfulness is out of 5. Affection levels out of 4, so high playfulness, high affection. Friendliness towards dogs out of 2, so a little lower than average. Friendliness towards other pets and strangers, as well as ease of training are out of 3, so all average. Watchdog, protection, and grooming requirements are all out of 2, which the watchdog and protection ability are pretty low, but the grooming requirements are also a little worrisome. Cold tolerance is out of 3, so average. Heat tolerance out of 2, so not very good. The healthy weight of a male Glen is about 35 pounds. Females is less. Actually, this is a thin working weight. Most are heavier. The height of both a male and female Glen of Imaal Terrier is 12.5 to 14 inches. Well, that was interesting to learn about Glen, one of the weirdest dogs we've ever had to talk about on this channel. Anyways, the next animal we'll be talking about is a lot more stand-up-ish. He's a lot more into the Irish way of things, and that type of breed is the Irish Terrier. Look at him. He's so cute. I love Irish Terriers. They're such strange-looking dogs. They're adorable, but they're strange. They're definitely strange. Alright, but what's the history? Are they really Irish? Well, the Irish Terrier is a quintessential long-legged terrier. The Irish Terrier is also one of the oldest terrier breeds. Its creation is not documented, but may have descended from the old Black and Tan Terrier and the larger but racier solid Wheaten-coloured terrier. Both of which were found in Ireland and used for hunting fox, otter, and vermin. Its similarity to the Irish Wolfhound was led to conjecture that may have descended at least in part from the breed. The Irish Terrier is the raciest member of the Terrier Group, with its longer body and longer legs than the other terriers. Early Irish Terriers came in a variety of colors, including black, tan, and gray, and brindle. Only near the end of the 19th century did the solid red color become the fixture of the breed. The first Irish Terrier was shown in 1875, and by the 1880s, the breed was 4th most popular in England. At the time, it was fashionable with the crop of the ears of the many terriers, but in 1889, the Irish Terrier Club of England banned ear cropping in the breed. The ruling was to have far-reaching implications for all dogs because it instigated the debate about ear cropping and eventually led to abolition? I don't know why I can read that. Abolition of cropped ears in all breeds shown in England. The breed also became quite popular in America, ranking 13th of all breeds in the late 1920s. It was dominant force in the show rings of the day. In World War I, the breed proved its mettle by serving as a messenger and a sentinel. With such an auspicious beginning, the Irish Terrier seemed certain to remain one of the most popular terriers, but it didn't. Today, the Irish is one of the rare terriers, an uncommon sight in either show ring or home. So it's a racier terrier? You know, I immediately thought bad things when I said that out loud, but then I realized it means fast, or it likes to go on races? Not, like, racist, I guess? I don't know, it's weird. But what's the temperament? How do I keep this Irish Terrier in check? Well, it's called the daredevil of dogdom. The Irish Terrier is brash, bold, assertive, playful, inquisitive, independent, strong-willed, and ever ready for action and adventure. Usually aggressive towards other dogs and small animals, and tends to be reserved with strangers. It likes to chase and run and hunt and explore. It needs daily physical and mental exercise in a safe area. Given sufficient exercise, it is surprisingly well-mannered and dignified indoors, as well loyal and entertaining companion. But what's the upkeep? How do I keep my Irish Terrier in check? Well, the upkeep of the Irish Terrier is that this is a dog with an active mind and body, needs daily entertainment and exercise, makes a good walking and jogging companion, as well as hiking or hunting partner. It can also be met with a rigorous play session. Its wire coat needs combing 1 or 2 times weekly, plus scissoring and shaping, clipping for pets or stripping for show dogs, 2 to 4 times yearly. Clipping softens the coat and dulls the color. Some training of the ears is necessary to ensure proper adult shape. Now for the worst part, the health. Which, actually, I think this is the healthiest dog we've ever had. No, seriously, because their major concerns are nothing. Their minor concerns are urinary stones. They're occasionally seen with nothing. You shouldn't have specific tests when you take them to the doctor. Literally says nothing. And their lifespan is 12 to 15 years, which is not bad for a terrier. Well, if you want a good medical dog, the Irish Terrier is for you. But what's the form? What's the function? What does they look like without these little pictures in front of me? Well, the Irish Terrier The Irish Terrier is a graceful, racy outline with a moderately long body. It should not have been short back, characteristic of so many of the long-legged terriers. It's sturdy and strong substance, but really? Okay. Strong in substance, but also active and live in movement. It an all-rounded terrier that must combine speed, endurance, agility, and power to perform a great variety of jobs. Its broken coat is dense and wiry, never so long as to obscure the body shape. Its expression, like its nature, is intense. Now, for the tier list of today's episode. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming. Which, we don't win that battle today. Energy and exercise requirements are at a 3, pretty average. Playfulness is at an all-time 5. Affection levels at a 2. I guess he doesn't like love. Friendliness towards dogs and other pets is at a 1. Friendliness towards strangers is at a 2, so this dog isn't very friendly. Ease of training is at a 1, which is good, and I guess it makes up for it in its watchdog ability being at a 5. Protection ability is at a 4. Grooming requirements is sadly also at a 4. Cold and heat tolerance at a 3. They're pretty average. The healthy weight of a male Irish Terrier should be ideally 27 pounds. Female should be ideally 25 pounds. And the height for both male and female is 18 inches, because if it was feet, we'd be living in a world of giants. Well, I guess we're talking about the same dog next time, except it doesn't know how to cut its mustache off. The next breed of dog we'll be talking about is
The Kerry Blue Terrier. This will be the final terrier we learn about for a bit because, well, frankly put, for the final episode of a book, I never do Learning Corner. So, yeah. Alright. The Kerry Blue Terrier looks like the Irish Terrier, but, big mustache or big front hair. I don't know what to call it. Well, the history of the Kerry Blue Terrier is that the Kerry Blue originated in the south and west of Ireland. First gaining notice in the Ring of Kerry, the dog had been known for at least a century as a versatile farm dog, hunting vermin, small game, and birds, retrieving over land and water, and herding sheep and cattle. How much such a talented, attractive dog would be remained unknown outside of Ireland for so long is a mystery, but only came on the English and American show scenes around 1920s. It received AKC, American Kennel Company, recognition in 1924. Early specimens were somewhat disheveled, but as more grooming became accepted, the breed caught on and became a popular show dog. Once groomed, the Kerry Blue is one of the most striking of all dogs, particularly of being born black. The blue coloration not appearing until between 9 months and 2 years of age. It remains a versatile dog, adding police work and trailing to its list of talents. Despite this, it only enjoys a modest popularity as a pet. Well, what's the temperament? How do I make sure? What does this dog do if it's just unknown and kind of cool? Well, the temperament of the Kerry Blue Terrier is that it's a versatile terrier. The Kerry Blue's personality is as many faceted. It can guard, hunt, herd, or just be a fun-loving companion. Needs daily mental and physical safe activity in a safe area. Loves to run, chase, hunt, explore, play, and dig indoors. As well-mannered and can be protective towards strangers, yet greet verified friends with great enthusiasm. It's apt to be aggressive towards other dogs and small animals. It's clever and independent, often stubborn. Some tend to bark. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep my Kerry Blue Terrier in check? Well, the upkeep of the Kerry Blue Terrier is that it needs a good amount of exercise, but it needs to be met with either a long walk on a leash, a vigorous play session, or a chance to explore off-leash in a safe area. It must spend time with the people indoors and out. Its coat needs combining about twice a week, more often than twigs and leaves. Its coat needs combing about twice a week, plus scissoring and coat shaping every month. Its ears need to be trained and developed to ensure proper shape. Well, what's the health? Concerns. One of the worst part of the episode, but the health. Major concerns are cerebellar abiotrophy. Minor concerns are cataracts, spiculas, hair follicle tumors, entropin, NCS, CHD, osteus externa. They're occasionally seen of retinal folds, clotting factor 11 deficiency, or XI. The suggested tests are for the eye and hip, and their lifespan is 12 to 15 years. So a more medically rounded Irish Terrier. Got it. Well, what's the form? What's the function? What do they look like without these pictures? Well, form and function is that this versatile breed has the ability of dog to perform a variety of tasks, all requiring athletic ability. Can run, herd, trail, retrieve, swim, dispatch vermin. The ideal for all-round farm companion. And keeping with this, it's not exaggerated in build. It's an upstanding long-legged terrier with a short black displayed strong bones and muscle. Its coat is soft, dense, and wavy, and its distinctive blue-gray color. Now, for the tier list of the episode, 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming. The energy level is out of 3. Exercise requirements are out of 3, so pretty average. Playfulness is out of 4, so pretty up there. Affection level is out of 3, so very loving. Friendliness towards dogs and other pets is out of 1, so I guess he doesn't like other dogs and pets. Friendliness towards strangers is out of 3, and ease of training is out of 3, so average on both. Watchdog ability is out of 5. Protection ability is out of 4. Surprisingly and sadly, grooming requirements are out of 5. Heat and cold tolerance are out of 3, so pretty average. Sorry. The weight of a healthy male Kerry Blue Terrier should be 33 to 40 pounds, and a female, less. Just the word less. Height of the average male Kerry Blue Terrier is 18 to 19.5 inches, and female is 17.5 to 19 inches, which is optimal, apparently, I guess. And I guess it has to be inches, because if it was feet, we'd be living in a world of giants. I guess we're covering the Irish Terrier a third time, but this one just looks like the Irish Terrier. Well, that type of terrier is the Lakeland Terrier. It's an interesting species of animal. It looks rather silly Billy. Yeah. If you're wondering why this is being posted today instead of last Sunday, by the way, I may have made a post about it, but I want to make it to where Saturday I post about the reading video, Sunday I post a learning video, and I just kind of counted the background thing as a learning video. Does that make any sense? I'm lazy and I'm trying to spack time. So yeah, to you. The only time I'm gonna not do a learning video or a reading corner of the day, doing it up Sunsy's Way Bob, is when I'm parler tout français, doing my own stuff, like, you know, it's like like doing a full read, or, you know, because it'll be the last episode and the next one will be a full read. That just makes more sense. I'm sorry, we're here to learn about the Lakeland Terrier, and I'm just going on and on and on, and I won't shut up. So what's the history? What can we know about this scruffy little pup of ours? Well, the Lakeland Terrier, the first Lakeland Terriers were kept by farmers who took them along as small packs of hounds in order to kill the foxes that were a problem in the area. The dogs were extremely game and were also used in on otter and vermin with great success. Although its background is not documented, it shares common ancestors with the Border Terrier, Bedlington Terrier, and Fox Terrier. As fox hunting became valued more than its sporting aspect, the terriers became more fashionable as a part of the fox hunt. Those dogs from the early English Lake region gained a reputation as particularly game dogs, although at the time they were identified as Patterdale, Fell, and Elterwater Terriers, all of which came from the Lakeland region. Only in 1921 were they recognized as the Lakeland Terriers. Although Cumberland is considered the exact birthplace of the breed is accepted for American Kennel Company (AKC) registration in 1934. Since then, the Lakeland Terrier has been a prominent contender in the show ring, combining dapper good looks with unsurpassed showmanship. Its popularity as a pet, however, has remained moderate. Well, what's the temperament? How do I keep this showman fox hunter in check? Well, the temperament of the Lakeland Terrier is that the spunky Lakeland makes for the most of every day, always busy investigating, playing, and it really gets its wish hunting, running, and chasing. Given daily exercise in a safe area, it settles down in a home, makes an entertaining and endearing house pet. It is reserved with strangers and usually aggressive toward other dogs and small animals. Clever, independent, and stubborn. It can be mischievous. It is nonetheless sensitive and must be trained with patience as well as a sense of humor. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep my Lakeland Terrier in check with good humor, apparently? Well, it's an active breed that needs daily entertainment or it will make it for itself. A moderate walk on a leash and a hearty game of the yard can usually satisfy its needs, but it also enjoys a chance to explore off-leash and safe area. It enjoys spending the day in the secure yard. It should optimally sleep in the house, where wire coats need combing 1 or 2 times weekly, plus scissoring and shaping, clipping for pets and stripping for show dogs 4 times yearly. Clipping softens the coat and lightens the color. Well, what's the health? How do I know my Lakeland Terrier is good? Well, the major concerns are good. Luckily, nothing. Minor concerns are lens luxation, dyschasis, chisis. I don't know how to say that. They're occasionally seen with a leg perthus, VWD, and their suggested tests are for the eye. Now, what's the the lifespan is 12 to 16 years. Sorry, that should have been what I ended off on. What's the form? What's the function? Well, the Lakeland Terrier is a rather small dog of short back, square proportion, with a sturdy workman-like build. Its legs are fairly long, enabling it to run at a good speed or traverse the rugged shale terrain of its native mountain town countryside. Its gait is smooth and ground covering, with a good reach and drive. Its body is deep and narrow, allowing it to squeeze through small passages after its quarry. Its expression reflects its move, ranging from the intense to... Nope, I'm not reading that wrong. From intense to gay or impish. Its double coat consists of a soft undercoat and a hard, wiry outer coat. It's a gay dog. Gay dog! Now for the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming. Energy levels out of 4. Exercise requirements are out of 3. Playfulness are out of 5. Affection levels out of 3. Friendliness towards dogs, other pets, and strangers are out of a 1, so not very friendly. Ease of training is out of 1. Watchdog abilities out of 5. Protection abilities out of 1. Grooming requirements are out of 4. Cold and heat tolerance are out of 3. So pretty average. The weight of a healthy male, and I guess female, is about 17 pounds. And the average height of a male Lakeland Terrier is about 14.5 inches. And a female is 13.5 inches, because if it was feet, we'd be living in the world of giants. Now, would you look at that? That is a recognizable dog to anyone who watches The Simpsons. And that breed of dog is...
the Manchester Terrier. Remember last week when I was saying, y'all knowing of The Simpsons? Well, this one is the one that... This one should be familiar to those of Simpsons fame, because it's where Mr. Burns will say...
Release the hound.
Yeah. I think that's this breed. Either that or it's Dobermans. Actually, I think it's Doberman. But you know what? When you look up Manchester Terrier Simpsons, that scene comes up. So you know what? I'm 50% correct. Anywho, the history of the Manchester Terrier is that it's one of the most popular and accomplished terriers of the early England. Was a black and tan terrier mentioned as early as the 16th century. The black and tan was a skilled dispatcher of rats either along the watercourses or in the pits. With the advent of industrialization, sport of the working class in England's towns centered around the rat killing, with black and tans and dogs racing with whippets. It was only a matter of time before the two breeds were crossed, and this was done by John Hulme of Manchester, with the goal of creating a dog that could excel in both arenas. The result was a refined black and tan terrier with a slightly arched back, slimmer crosses with almost certainly between made with other regions, because their other dogs resembling this new strain were not uncommon. But the breed's popularity centered around Manchester. In 1860, the breed was formally dubbed the Manchester Terrier. The name did not catch on, however, and was dropped in favor of the Black and Tan Terrier, only revived in 1923. The breed was always at a large size range, and until 1959, standard and toy Manchesters were shown in two separate breeds. Although interbreeding was allowed, in 1959 they were reclassified as one breed with two varieties, legitimatizing the practice of interbreeding. Besides size, the only difference of the two varieties was whether cropping is allowed. It is allowed in the standard variety only. In weather cropping... Oh, I put too much emphasis in weather. In weather cropping is allowed. So I guess the cropping of the ears, or the clipping... No, that's clipping. What are they talking about cropping? I don't know what that means. But what's the temperament? How did these Manchester Terriers do good because they're from Manchester? Well, the Manchester Terrier is one decided a cat-like, being impeccably... I can't speak British and read. Impeccably clean, independent, reserved with strength. You hear I said impeccably? I can't even read in English. Impeccably clean, independent, reserved with strangers, yet sensitive. It is more responsive than many terriers and is generally well-mannered horse dog. It is devoted to its family and enjoys napping at a special person's side. Otherwise, it is busy, ever nosing around for an adventure or a game. Some tend to dig, and some tend to dig. It is me, President Kennedy. I can read as President Kennedy, apparently. I'll try to read as Richard Nixon next.
Except I'm gonna go every time I do it, because I've never heard the actual Nixon speak. I only know it from Futurama by Matt Groening.
This alert and active breed can have exercise needs met with a moderate walk on leash, good romp in the yard, or an off-lead foray, in a safe area. This is not a breed to live outdoors. Although it appreciates access to a yard during the day, it likes a warm, soft bed. Go Kerry. I'm
gonna have to put up subtitles for that, aren't I? I know I will. Okay, if I did put up subtitles, someone please comment on it, and I'll re-upload the video. What's the health? I don't know any more presidents. I know one president who's the best president. I know one president I could do, but I'm not gonna do that. It's too controversial. It's too controversial. And if somehow he dies, this was recorded the 30th of January of 2026. That's not why it's controversial. It's because he's Donald. Major concerns are nothing. Minor concerns are cardiomyopathy, VWD, hypothyroidism. They're occasionally seen with leg perthis. What? Leg perthis? Leg perthis? Yeah, it's leg perthis, but they put a... That's strange. Posterior luxation, deafness, and PRA. Suggested test when you take it to the doctor once every year is eye, hip, thyroid, DNA, or VWD. Their lifespan is 15 to 16 years. So what's the form? What's the function? What do they look like without the pictures? Well, the form and function of the Manchester Terrier is perhaps the sleekest and raciest of all terriers. Its smooth, compact, muscular body, slightly longer than tall, and slightly arched top line. The combination of power and agility enables the breed to, of course, and kill small game and vermin. Its gait is free and effortless, not hackney, and its expression is keen and alert, and its coat is smooth and glossy. Now for the tier list of today. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst unless it comes to grooming. Sorry, I had to check something. Energy levels out of 4, so pretty high in energy. Exercise requirements out of 3, so pretty average. Playfulness and affection level are out of 4, so loving and playful. Friendliness towards dogs out of 3, so average. Friendliness towards other pets and strangers out of 1, so not very friendly towards them. Ease of training's out of 2, so kind of difficult. Watchdog abilities out of 5, so real good at seeing things and, keeping an eye on stuff. Protection, grooming, and cold tolerance are all out of 1, so not good at the cold, not much grooming requirements, and not very good at protecting. Heat tolerance is out of 4, so pretty good in the heat. The healthy weight of a standard male or female Manchester Terrier is over 12 to 22 pounds, and for a toy Manchester Terrier is under 12 pounds. The height of both a male and female Manchester Terrier is 15 to 16 inches, because if it were feet, we'd be living in the world of giants. Now, I'm pretty sure... Now, hold on a minute. For this next breed of dog we'll be learning about next time, I'm pretty sure we've already covered that, semi-recently. Hold on, I'm going back. Yes, we have. But this is the smaller version of that breed. And that breed is the Bull Terrier. But this one's different because it's the miniature Bull Terrier? I don't know how that works. So if it becomes small, it becomes its own breed. But then again, later on in the book, which will be up many, many episodes down the line, we have a group called the Toy Group. Wait a minute, is that the next group we're learning about? The Toy Group? Oh, I hate the Toy Group. Alright, it's just a bunch of rat dogs. And anyway, the Toy Group. So wouldn't this be a toy group? Also, that little puppy looks AI generated. Just me? No? I found out that is a real photo. But, just looks a little AI generated. Alright. Well, the history of the Bull Terrier, which looks like it has an exclusively long history, is that the miniature Bull Terrier comes directly from the Bull Terrier, and so shares the breed's early history. In early days, the Bull Terrier standards allowed for great range of weights, reflecting the great range and size of the Bull Terrier's ancestors, the Bulldog, White English Terrier, and Black and Tan Terrier. Smaller Bull Terriers have long been part of the breed, with specimens weighing as little as 4 pounds being recorded early on. These smallest white Bull Terriers were at one time called Coverwood Terriers after the kennel that produced them. These tiny toys tended to have poor type and interest waned in them. Better type was found in slightly larger specimens, the miniatures rather than toys. By 1939, the miniature Bull Terrier was recognized by the English Kennel Club, EKC, but yet is a recognition Recognition? Yeah, my apologies. Recognition was a separate breed proved to be a problem. As a separate breed, the miniature could no longer be interbred with standard-sized bull terriers, and there were so few miniatures that considerable interbreeding resulted. The breed would never gain popular attention and it grew only slowly. In 1991, it was recognized by the AKC, American Kennel Company, still an uncommon breed. It is bound to increase in popularity as a true miniature version of the popular bull terrier. So it's a bull terrier but smaller, and they made it its own breed? Or it was first founded, and then the bull terrier was founded? Because it says here that it was acknowledged and recognized in 1939, when the original bull terrier was recognized in 1936. Why not make it the same? Like, okay, hold on. With the animal we read last time, the Manchester Terrier, there was a toy version and a normal version. So how come they didn't just do the same? I guess it's because it was the English Kennel Company that recognized it, while before it was just the American Kennel Company? I guess? And since they have such different histories, as the Bull Terrier was more for fighting rounds, and this one's more for, what? Hunting? So it's like, I don't know. Weird that they're separate breeds, but whatever. Well, what's the temperament? How do we make this copycat? What does a copycat like to do? Probably the same as the Bull Terrier. Well, it's very much like the larger Bull Terrier. How original. The Mini is comical, lively, playful, and mischievous. Despite its smaller size, it's not a lap dog. It is very bit as tough as its larger version and apt to want to prove itself even more. It is a sweet clown, devoted but not fawning. It is stubborn and independent and needs to be trained with a firm yet gentle hand and a good sense of humor. It likes to play and investigate, it likes to dig, and it needs ample exercise. So what's the upkeep? How do I keep this miniature version of the Bull Terrier in check? Well, the Mini's exercise needs are daily, but not excessive. It needs either a moderate walk or a romp in a safe area. It's a breed that should live outdoors, but it does do well in access of a yard. It can, however, do as well as an apartment or city dog. Co-care is minimal. So wow, because of its small size, it actually is better than the Bull Terrier because it can live anywhere, while the Bull Terrier is usually good for outdoors. Interesting. Well, what's the health? What do we be concerned about of a miniature version of the Bull Terrier? Well, miniature Bull Terrier's major concerns are deafness in whites. Oh, fully white. My apologies. The two pictures I have on screen, or well, on your screen, are the two full white breeds. There is also a brown and tan breed, and I guess the white breed has a hearing problem from, I don't know, too much sun? I really don't know. Minor concerns are glaucoma and lens luxation. They're occasionally seen with kidney disease, which is terrible. Suggested tests are for the hearing, for whites, and eyes, for every other breed. Lifespan is 11 to 14 years, which is pretty under average for miniature Bull Terriers. What's the form? What's the function? How can I describe miniature Bull Terrier again in a longer disposition? Well, the form and function is that it's strongly built, square proportioned dog, big boned and of course. Goodness. It should reflect those attributes that made the standard-sized Bull Terrier a formidable foe in the fighting ring, and its sturdy bone and muscle and strong jaws. Its gait is free as easy. Its skin is tight, and its coat is short, flat, and harsh. It wears a keen and determined expression on its characteristic clown face. Wow. Even the book's clowning on him. Poor breed. Anywho, time for the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst unless it comes to grooming. Energy levels out of 4, so above average. Exercise requirements are out of 3, so pretty average. Playfulness is out of 5, very playful. Affection level and friendliness towards dogs are out of 2, so not very affectionate and not very friendly towards dogs. However, it is friendly towards other pets and strangers, with both of them being out of 3, so average. Easy training is out of 1, so pretty easy. Watchdog abilities out of 5, so a great watchdog. Protection abilities out of 3, so kind of good at protecting, pretty average. Grooming requirements are out of 1, which means it's amazing. I'm sorry I keep choking on my own saliva. Don't know why. Because I need to take a sip of water, and my water's so far away, it's literally right next to me. Cold and heat tolerance are out of 3, so, you know, average. The healthy weight of a male and female miniature Bull Terrier is 25 to 33 pounds, and the height of a healthy male and female miniature Bull Terrier is 10 to 14 inches, and not feet, or else we'd be living in a world of giants. Am I going crazy? What? Is the next couple episodes just going to be the miniature versions of the other dogs? Miniature this one. Okay, no, the next one's going to be actually a real dog. we're going over another miniature breed again next episode, and the miniature version is the miniature Schnauzer.
Ooh, the miniature Schnauzer. We have so many miniature versions of things. Now, originally, I was going to read this, the last time I did these audio, but why would you care? They come out the same. I don't know why that's a topic. Long story short, I lost my voice from reading too much. And I don't have any water, so I'm gonna do the same thing again. What's happened since? Last time I recorded, which was like a week ago? Or like 3 days ago? We had a snowstorm, and I went to an auction, and I got a really cool scythe, which I really wish I had gotten, when I was reading the book Scythe. Here's a picture of it. It's pretty kickin'. I mean, that's metal as all AF, man. Homeboy dog. Speaking of dogs, the history of the miniature Schnauzer is that it's the smallest and most popular of the Schnauzers. I wouldn't say that. I've never heard of this dog before. The miniature Schnauzer was developed in the late 1800s as a small farm dog in Rattern, Germany. In fact, the miniature Schnauzer is the only terrier not originating from European Isle stock. It was derived from crossing standard Schnauzer with the Affenpinscher and possibly Poodle. All the Schnauzers get... Wait, a poodle's actual name is Affenpinscher? Thank God they named it the Poodle. All the Schnauzers get their name from one individual dog named Schnauzer, who was exhibited around 1879 and apt name. I hate that thing. Sorry, I heard something. Since Schnauzer means small beard, the miniature Schnauzer was exhibited as a breed distinct from Schnauzer by 1899 in Germany, although it wasn't until 1933 that the AKC American Kennel Company divided the standard and miniature into separate breeds. The miniature is the only Schnauzer to remain in the Terrier Group in America. In England, it joins the other Schnauzers in the Utility Group. The miniature Schnauzer came from America long after its standard and giant counterparts, but in the years after World War II, it has far outpaced them in popularity, even rising and become the third most popular breed in America at one time. It remains as the perennial favorite, a smart-looking and acting alert family pet and competitive show dog. Well, what's the temperament? How do I keep this supposedly most popular Schnauzer in check? Well, what's the temperament of the most popular dog? I just don't like the fact that they called him the most popular Schnauzer. Because I've never heard of it. But whatever. The temperament of the miniature Schnauzer. It deserves its place as one of the most popular terrier pets. It is playful, inquisitive, alert, spunky, and companionable. That's a word. It is a well-mannered house dog that also enjoys being the middle of activities. It is less domineering than the larger Schnauzers and less dog-aggressive than most terriers. It's also better than other animals with most terriers, although it will gladly give chase. It's clever than the stubborn, but it's generally biddable. It enjoys children. Some may bark a lot. Alright. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep my miniature Schnauzer, apparent #1 dog, in check? Well, its energetic breed can have its exercise requirements met by a moderate walk on a leash or a good game in the yard. Even though it can physically survive living outdoors in warm and temperate climates, it emotionally needs to share its life with a family inside the home. A wire coat needs combing once or twice weekly, plus scissoring and shaping, clipping for pets and stripping for show dogs every couple of months. Clipping softens the coat's texture. Now for the health, the worst part of the episode. I also updated the little guy who talks. So when I stop talking, it actually will stop talking with me, so it looks like I'm actually talking a little better. I don't know. Major concerns are erythrolithasis and PRA. Minor concerns are Schnauzer comedo syndrome. I guess if your Schnauzer becomes a comedian. VWD, myotonia congenita, allergies. They're occasionally seen with cataract, retinal dysplasia, microbacterium, avian infection. Suggest a test where you take them to the doctor once every 2 months or once a year, depending on the breed. DNA tests for type A, PRA, VWD, and myotonia congenita. I feel bonita. The lifespan is 12 to 14 years, which is pretty average for a Schnauzer. What's the form? What's the function? What do they look like without the pictures? Well, the miniature Schnauzer is a robust, sturdily built terrier that's nearly square proportion, developed as a rattier and quick and tough. Its gait displays good reach and drive. Its coat is double with a close undercoat and hard, wiry outer coat.
which is longer than its legs, muzzle, and eyebrows. Its facial furnishings add to its keen expression. And now I'm getting a phone call! Sorry, going on another tangent. But don't you hate when you try to apply for college once, and then you're like, oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't apply for college. I should go to the military instead. And even though you've put yourself on their block list 100 times, certain universities will still call you months after telling them, stop calling me. I love that. And for no reason at all, shout out to Full Sail University. Stop contacting me. Anyways, at a glance. Oh, and before you go, oh, well, if you're recording this months in advance, how would they hear? Oh, trust me, they'll still be calling me, no matter how many numbers of theirs I block. I mean, seriously, my block list has a bunch of random numbers, and someone who was going through my phone for whatever reason said, you have a lot of numbers blocked. And I was like, yeah, it's the same university, and it's annoying me. Anyways, back to dogs. The tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming. I look a lot like the miniature Schnauzer right now. I'm angry. Energy level and exercise requirements are out of 3, so pretty average. Playfulness and affection levels out of 4, so pretty playful, pretty loving. Friendliness towards dogs, other pets, strangers, and their ease of training is out of 3, so average all around. Watchdog abilities out of 5, with a protection ability out of 1. Sadly, the grooming requirements are out of 3, so pretty high up there. Cold and heat tolerance out of 3, so pretty average. The healthy weight of a male and female miniature Schnauzer, 13 to 15 pounds, and the average height of a male or female miniature Schnauzer is 12 to 14 inches, because if it was feet, we'd be living in a world of giants. Giants like the universities that won't stop calling me! Kidding. The next dog we'll be learning about is the Norfolk Terrier. There are Norfolk around here. That was a terrible joke. That was a stupid joke. There's Norfolk around here? Seriously? This is why I do audiobooks. I stopped doing video games. I can't do commentary to save my life. Just like how this guy can't climb stairs to save his life. He's small. He's a small little baby. But yeah. Without further ado, this should be pretty quick. Let's begin. Let's begin. This isn't an audiobook. I just kind of mixed. I didn't even do the proper intro, did I? Learning corner of the day. Doing it up. Stunt. I'm not even in a corner. I'm on a floating island. What? It's not even the learning corner. It's the learning island. Learning island of the day. Swimming it up? No, there's no water. I'm in a floating island. Whatever. That's a discussion for later. Learning corner of the day, doing it up Stonesy Way Bob. Today we're learning about the Norfolk Terrier, blah, blah, blah. I make a joke, he's short, he's fat, he's stupid, or something. I don't know. So without further ado, let's begin. That's the wrong intro again. I'm angry at myself. The history of the Norfolk Terrier is that it shares an identical early history with the Norwich Terrier. During the development of these breeds, both prick and drop ears are seen, and neither could lay claim for being more authentic or original than the other. In the 1930s, soon as their entry into the show rings, breeders found a crossing of the two types of ear carriage resulted in the uncertain ear carriage and the offspring, so they began avoiding crossing the two ear types. The prick-eared type were more numerous. In fact, the drop-eared type almost vanished during World War II. The drop-eared strain owes its existence to the single-handed and determined efforts of Miss McPhee of the Colonsays. In the 1940s, breeders came to her and renewed breeding in the drop-eared type of Norwich, and they soon caught up with the prick-eared type in popularity, although not in show awards. Sorry. Eventually, amid some controversy, the breed was officially changed from one breed to two varieties of two separate breeds. This happened in 1964 in England and in 1979 in the United States. Well, what's the temperament? How do I keep this World War II veteran in check? Or what does it do? Well, it's feisty, bold, inquisitive, game, scrappy, stubborn, and independent. The Norfolk is a terrier and has been called a demon in the field, and it loves to hunt, dig, and investigate. It must be exercised in a safe area. It is clever and amiable and strong-willed. But strong-willed, I'm sorry. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep this Norfolk Terrier in check? Well, the Norfolk Terrier needs to exercise outing every day, either a short or moderate walk to a lively and boisterous play session. It especially likes to hunt and investigate, but it must do so in a safe area. Even though it will live outside in temperate to warm climates, it's such a family-oriented dog that is emotionally unsuited not insinuated, unsuited for outdoor living. It does best as a house dog with access to a yard. You're nothing but a house dog. Its wire coat needs combing once or twice weekly, plus stripping of dead hairs 3 to 4 times yearly. Now, for the bad part of the episode, what's the health? What do we worry about our little puppy friend? Well, the major concerns are CHD, minor concerns are allergies, or they're occasionally seen with patellar luxation. There's suggested test when you take them for every 2 months or every year, depending on the breed, or for their hip and knee. And their lifespan is 13 to 15 years, which is a little better than average for terriers. Well, without the pictures, what's the form? What's the function? What do they look like? Well, unlike the Norwich Terrier, the Norfolk is slightly longer than it's tall. Like the Norwich, it's formidable adversary to the vermin, and Fox can bolt and dispatch its quarry, looking around with a pack, and is small, short-legged, and compact, with good bone and substance. Its gait is low and driving. Double coat is weather resistant. Outer coat containing a hard, wiry, straight hair, about 1.5 to 2 inches long, with a longer ruff. It wears a keen, intelligent expression. I wouldn't say intelligent. I would say scared, but okay. Now, for the tier list, 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming. Energy levels out of 4, so pretty high up there. Exercise requirements and playfulness out of 3, so average. Affection levels out of 1, so not so much. Friendliness towards dogs, other pets, and strangers out of 3, so average. Ease of training is out of 2, so kinda easy. Watchdog abilities out of 5, can see everything. Protection abilities out of 1, so can't protect very well. Grooming retirements. Grooming requirements are out of 3, so that's not good. It means it has pretty moderate grooming. Cold and heat tolerance out of 3, so average. The healthy male and female Norfolk Terrier is 11 to 12 pounds, and the height of a male and female Norfolk Terrier is 9 to 10 inches and not feet, or else we'd be living in a world of giants. Now, if you were to ask me what is the most famous terrier, it would not have been last episode's miniature Schnauzer. It would in fact be this next breed we're talking about, and which is the Sandwich Terrier, the Norwich Terrier, the Yeswich Terrier, the Bandwich Terrier, the Terrier Harrier. So, yeah. Alrighty. So, the history of the Norwich Terrier is that it's a short-legged, rattling terriers have long been valued in England. Not only in the 1880s, the breed would eventually become both the Norwich and Norfolk Terriers emerged from the obscurity. At that time, owning one of these small ratters became a fad among Cambridge University students. The little terriers became known as Cantab, and later Thrumpington Terriers around 1900. A Trumpington Terrier, named Rags, became the stable near Norwich, had gained notoriety as a ratter as well as a sire. He sired countless offspring, and the patriarch of the modern Norwich, one of his sons named to America, proved to be an ensemble ambassador for the breed. To this day, many people still refer to Norwich as the Jones Terrier. After a dog's owner, the Jones Terrier was incorporated into various foxhound hunt packs. The AKC, American Kennel Company, recognized the breed in 1936. At the time, the breed had both prick and drop ears, but in 1979, the drop-eared variety was recognized as a separate breed, the Norfolk Terrier, although lacking the flash of its long-legged competitors in the Terrier Group. The Norwich was proven itself formidable and a competitor in the show ring, as it ever was in the field. Despite its show ring success, however, it enjoys only moderate popularity as a pet. Well, what's the temperament? How does this Norwich Terrier do with others? Well, the Norwich Terrier, like the Norfolk, is a true terrier at heart. Always ready for an adventure and excitement. It is a hunter that may chase small animals. It is a pert, independent, amusing, but sometimes challenging companion, best suited for people with a sense of adventure and humor. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep this humorous dog in check? Well, the Norwich needs to stretch his legs and a good walk or short run every day. Especially likes combining a run with a chance to explore, but only such off-leash expeditions must be done only in a safe area. It's better suited as a house dog with yard access, but it can stay outdoors during the day if need to be in the temperate to warm climates. Wiry coat needs combing 1 or 2 times weekly, plus stripping of dead hairs 3 to 4 times a year. Now for the health, which is the worst part of it all. Major concerns are CHD, minor concerns are allergies, seizures. They're occasionally seen with patellar luxations, cheiletiella mites, deafness, and cataract. The suggested tests are for the hips and knees. Lifespan is from 13 to 15 years. So pretty good for a terrier. What's the form? What's the function? What do they look like without the pictures? Well, it's a spirited dog, one of the smallest in the working terriers. It's sturdy and stocky, it's square proportion. Smell size is an asset, following vermin or fox down tight passageways. Its teeth are large to aid with dispatching its quarry. It shows a great power in its movement. The tail should be long enough to grasp firmly, and has a dog be pulled from a hole. The double coat is hard, wiry, and straight outer coat that lies close to the body and is thicker around the mane. For protection. The dog bears a slightly foxy expression. Now, for the tier list of the episode. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming, in which it's flipped. The energy level is out of 4, so pretty high in energy. Exercise and playfulness requirements are out of 3. Or, playfulness requirements, but it's pretty playful. Exercise requirements are out of 3, so average. Affection levels out of 4. Friendliness towards dogs, other pets, and strangers are out of 3, so pretty average all around. Ease of training is also out of 3, so pretty average in training. Watchdog ability is out of 5, so pretty good watchdog. Protection ability is out of 1, so, not very great for protecting. Grooming requirements is out of 3, which sucks. Cold and heat tolerance is out of 3. Weight for a healthy male and female Norwich Terrier is approximately 12 pounds. And the height of the average Norwich Terrier for both male and female is ideally 10 inches, and not feet, or else it'd be living in the world of giants. I swear I've talked about this dog like 500 times already. Then again, really, it's slowly but surely becoming that all these terriers are looking the exact same over and over and over. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? And that dog is the Parson Russel Terrier, the PRT, the man to be, the dog that you want to always see. The Parson Russel Terrier. This dog is, like I said, I swear I've gone over this dog like 30 times already. But I guess that's how it is with the Terrier Group. But in other words of the Terrier Group, we only have this dog, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 more Terriers, and then we are fully done with the Terrier Group. So, not by the end of this book, but by, I think, partial way through next book, and we'll be done. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty kicking. But, yeah. To begin. The history of the Parson Russel Terrier is that the Parson Russel Terriers descend, in most part, from a dog named Trump, which was obtained by the Parson John Russell in Devonshire, England, in the mid-1800s. John Russell was a fox hunting enthusiast, and he thought to develop a line of terriers he could keep up with the horses and bolt of dispatch fox. His line was so successful that it eventually carried his name. Although John Russell became extremely active in the English Kennel Club, or EKC, for some reason he declined to show his own breed in confirmation. Some reason he declined to show, shows. Parson Russel Terrier aficionados followed his example, proving their dogs medal in the field rather than the show ring. This tradition holds true even today, after heated debates in which most fanciers objected to AKC recognition, American Kennel Company recognition. The breed was nonetheless admitted to the Terrier Group in 1998. In England, it was admitted to confirmation classes as the Parson Jack Russell Terrier in 1991. Jack Russells had been popular with horse owners and are frequently seen around stables, but the type of terrier are most often seen as short legs and long body. The term Parson was added to distinguish a traditional long-braided legged terrier. In 2003, the AKC, American Kennel Company, recognized dogs had their name changed from Jack Russell Terrier to Parson Russell Terrier. The PRT has become a popular media dog, and its exposure caused great interest in the breed from pet owners. As a result, its numbers are growing at an alarming rate. As irresistibly cute as its irascible scamp may be, it is definitely not a breed for everyone. So it goes left, it goes right, it goes up, it goes down. It reminds me of my dog, honestly. Are you a Parson Russel Terrier? You're a mutt, that's what you are. Mutt. I didn't say the other word. Mutt. Well, what's the temperament? What does this dog do? I know he's kind of jumpy, but what else is he? Well, this is a dog that thrives on action and adventure. In the process, it often finds itself in the middle of trouble. It is a true hunter at heart, and will explore, wander, chase, and dig when it gets a chance. It's very playful and intelligent, gets along well with children and strangers. It can even be scrappy with strange dogs, but is better than many terriers. It does well with horses, but it may better than many terriers. It is sorry, I lost my line. Wander, chase, and chance. It is playful, intelligent, gets along well with children and strangers. It can be scrappy with strange dogs, It is better than many terriers. It does well with horses, but it may chase cats. It's not good with rodents. It may tend to bark and dig. It makes it an ideal companion for an active person with a good sense of humor who wants a lot of entertainment and mischief in one dog. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep this mischievous, quick dog in check? Well, the Parson Russel needs a lot of mental and physical stimulation every day. It's not a dog that can sit around inside. It needs a long walk and strenuous game every day, plus a short training session, and enjoys a chance to explore on its own. It must do so only in a safe area because it tends to go off in search of trouble. It's so good at home, it must be dug out. It does best when allowed access to a house and yard, and it does good apartment dog. Coat care for a smooth type consists only of weekly brushing and smooth dead hair. For a broken coat, it also consists of occasional hand stripping. You know, the more I read this, the more I'm looking back at my own dog in real life, who I think is a mutt, and they look very similar. You don't have to editing me, but put up a picture of my dog. Maybe it's a Parson Russell Terrier. I don't know. Alright. Well, the health part. Major concerns are nothing. Minor concerns are lens luxation and patellar luxation. They're occasionally seen with glaucoma, ectasia, compulsive behavior, leg paresthesias, and deafness. They're suggested tests when you take them to the doctor as eyes and knees. Lifespan is 13 to 15 years. The form and function. So what do they look like without the picture? Well, the Parson is slightly longer than it is long. With medium bone, its long legs enable it to keep up with the horses and hounds. During a long fox hunt, slender build allows it to fit into small passageways in pursuit of its quarry. Spanning is a critical part of judging the Parson. The chest behind the elbows must be easily spanned by average-sized hands, such that the thumbs may meet the spine of the fingers under the chest. Its gait is free and lively, with a good reach and drive. Its coat can be either smooth or broken, both coarse and weatherproof, and short, dense undercoat. The outer coat of the smooth is flat and hard. That is, the broken is harsh, straight, tight, and the close lying, and no sculpted furnishings. The PRT's expression is king and full of life. Now, for the tier list, 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming. Now, the energy levels out of 5, high energy. Exercise requirements out of 4, high exercise requirements. Playfulness is out of 5, very playful. Affection levels out of 3, so very loving. Friendliness towards dogs is out of 2. Friendliness towards other pets is out of 1. Friendliness towards strangers is out of 3. Ease of training is out of 3. Watchdog ability is out of 5 with only a 2 in protection ability. The grooming requirements are split, with smooth only needing 1 and broken needing 3, so really hope you have smooth. Cold and heat tolerance out of 3, so pretty average. The healthy weight of a male and female Parson Russell Terrier is 13 to 17 pounds, and the average height of a male and female Parson Russell Terrier is 12 to 14 inches, and not feet, or else we'd be living in the world of giants. Becky, we gotta talk about this next dog, because this next dog got the cutest lashes in the world. And that type of breed is the Scottish Terrier. This dog has a built-in jacket, and I can respect that in a dog. Or maybe a built-in dress? A built-in kilt? I don't know what you would call it, but it's built-in all the same. So, yeah. What's the history of the Scottish Terrier? Oh, the Scottish! My voice still hurts, but whatever. I'll run it to the ground and become sick tomorrow. The history of the Scottish Terrier is that great confusion exists about the background of the Scottish Terrier. Well, I guess it's not pretty good history then, is it? Stemming from the early custom of calling all terriers from Scotland Scottish or Scotch Terriers, to further confuse matters, the present Scottish Terrier was once grouped with Skye Terriers, in reference not to the modern Skye Terrier, but to a large group of terriers in the Isle of Skye. Whatever the origin, the early Scottish Terriers were definitely a hardy lot of the Highlanders. Used for going to ground in pursuit of their prey, only in the late 1800s can the Scottish Terrier's history be confidently documented. Of the several short-legged, harsh-coated terriers, the dog known as the Scottish Terrier was most favored in the Aberdeen area, and for a time was called the Aberdeen Terrier. By the 1870s, the situation had become so confusing that the series of protests were made, ultimately leading to the detailed description of how the true Scottish Terrier would appear. Around 1880, the first breed standard was put forth. First Scotty came from America in 1883, gradually gained popularity until World War II. Popularity, you heard that? I messed the word up. After which its popularity soared. Most well-known Scotty in America was Fala, Franklin Roosevelt's dog, who was constant companion in life and buried in his side in death. The Scottish Terrier remains a fixture of the Terrier Group, always a contender in the show ring and favorite in the home. Well, what's the temperament? Is Franklin Roosevelt's dog anything good? Well, nicknamed the Die Hard in reference to its rugged character, the Scottish Terrier is a tough, smart, determined character. Ready for action, it's fearless and feisty and may be aggressive towards other dogs and animals. It is reserved but friendly with strangers and devoted with its family. Although independent and stubborn, it is sensitive. Left alone, it tends to dig and bark. Well, what's the upkeep? How do we keep my die-hard dog in check? Highway to the danger zone. This is a dog on the lookout for adventure and needs some excitement and exercise in his life every day. This can take the form of a moderate walk on a leash, a boisterous game, or an off-leaf exploration in a safe area. Although it can live outdoors in temperate to warm climate, it's far better suited to a house dog. With the access to a yard, its wire coat needs combing 2 to 3 times weekly, plus shaping every 3 months. Shaping for the pets is by clipping, and for show dogs is by stripping. Well, for the worst part, what's the health? What do we have to concern about our fluffy little pets? Major concerns for the Scottish Terrier are VWD and CMO. Minor concerns are Scotty cramp, celebrator IBO trophy patellar luxation. They're occasionally seen with bladder cancer, which is sad. Suggested tests are for the DNA and VWD when you take them for the tests once a year or once every 2 months. Lifespan is 11 to 13 years. What's the form? What's the function? It's surprisingly short. I think it's only a paragraph and a half for what is a very difficult dog to describe. The Scottish Terrier is a short-legged, compact, relatively heavy-boned dog, giving the impression of great power in the small package. My bad, not back age. Its combination is essential in a dog that must meet tough adversaries in tight spaces. Its coat is a combination of dense undercoat and extremely hardy and wiry outer coat, about 2 inches in length. The distinctive eyebrows and beard add to its expression, which is keen and sharp. Now, for the tier list of the video, let's make this one very clear. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, but it is flipped on its head when it comes to grooming. Now, let's make this easy. Energy, man, this is really easy. Energy level, exercise requirements, playfulness, affection level, and friendliness towards dogs, other pets, and strangers are at a 3, so average all around. It's very easy to train with a score of 1. Watchdog abilities out of 5, very good at watching. Protection abilities out of 2, which is pretty good. Grooming requirements, sadly, is out of 3, so higher than average. Cold tolerance is out of 3, heat tolerance is out of 1, not good in the heat. The healthy weight of a male Scottish Terrier is 19 to 22 pounds, and the healthy weight of a female Scottish Terrier is 18 to 21 pounds. The average height for both a male and female Scottish Terrier is about 10 inches, and not feet, or else we'd be living in the world of giants. Okay, no, this is seriously just the dog we... Am I going crazy? Are the next dogs we're talking about just the same dog over and over, but with different names? I don't mean to be rude, but okay, this dog that we're going to be talking about next time looks the same. That one looks the same. This one looks like the other one, but the same. This one finally looks different, because I actually didn't know it was a terrier. And we're back to this guy! Okay, and then he's new. They all look the same. This is making me go nutty. In the pictures and even the diagrams, they look the same, and it's making me go crazy. It's making me go nutty. But that's not your guys' concern. So, next time we'll be reading about Sealyham Terrier. Yeah, it definitely looks like every other dog we've talked about. I feel like I'm going crazy here, because the Sealyham Terrier looks a lot like the miniature Schnauzer, which also looks a lot like the freaking, the Lakeland Terrier, which I think is the second to last one, who looks like the Irish Terrier. I feel like I'm going crazy. I really do, because I've been talking about the same dog like 80 times. But they're all different, somehow. Alright. What's the history of this dog that I guess keeps getting copied over? No, I have to keep it motivated. Bobby, woo! The history of the Sealyham Terrier, and yes, that's a real vocal stim I use to amp myself up for these videos, is although some evidence exists of a small white long-backed terrier imported into the Wales of the 15th century, the documented history of the Sealyham begins only in the mid-1800s. Only reason the earlier observation received some credence is that the originator of the breed, Captain John Edwardes, of Sealyham was a descendant of the family said to have ported the particular dog centuries earlier. Regardless, Captain Edwardes worked from 1850 to 1891 to develop the breed now known as the Sealyham Terrier. The breeds that went into the makeup of the mystery. Some suggest that the Dandie Dinmont Terrier, doodah, may have played the role. Whatever the ingredients, the result of the plucky terrier soon gained notoriety for its ability to face badgers, otters, and foxes. Its smart appearance made it a dog show natural, and its first entered the show ring in 1903. The AKC, American Kennel Company, recognized the Sealyham in 1991. Demanded for the terriers quickly grew, especially because they were still exceptional hunting dogs as well as extremely competitive show dogs. Today, the breed's popularity has waned somewhat, but the Sealyham still remains its dual abilities to excel in both ring and field. Well, what's the temperament? Is this duplicate of a dog with a strange history of being from Sealyham good with kids? Well, one of the calmer terriers, the Sealyham was nonetheless ready for action, always happy to investigate, dig, or give chase. It is friendly, playful, and generally outgoing. The Sealy is reserved with strangers but devoted to its family. It is stubborn, independent, and can dig if bored. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep this dog who digs in check? Well, the Sealyham exercise needs are not demanding, consisting of a short, moderate walk or a game session every day. If allowed off-leash, it should be a safe area because it may tend to follow its nose. This breed is suited for indoor life, preferably with yard access, although it can live in an apartment. Its wire coat needs combing 2 to 3 times weekly, plus shaping every 3 months. Snaping for pets is clipping, and for show dogs by stripping. Dirt shows up on their white coats. Well, that makes sense. It's a white coat. Now for the worst part of it, the health, which actually looks pretty good here. Major concerns are nothing. Their minor concerns are retinal dysplasia and lens luxation. I really need to learn how to say that word. They're occasionally seen with deafness. Their suggested test when you take them to the doctors every 2 months or once a year is on their eyes. Their lifespan is 11 to 13 years, which is pretty below average for a terrier. What's the form? What's the function? What do they look like without the pictures? The Sealyham Terrier is a short-legged terrier, slightly longer than it's tall. Haven't heard that one in a minute. Its body is strong, short-coupled, and substantial, showing for plenty of flexibility. Its combination of short legs with a strong and flexible body allows the Sealyham to maneuver its tight quarters. Its weather-resistant coat consists of a soft, dense undercoat and a hard, wiry outer coat. It's keen, alert, and determined to breed, and should look the part. Now for the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is average, 3 is better, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst unless it comes to grooming. Energy level, exercise requirements, and playfulness are at a 2, so pretty below. Affection level and friendliness towards dogs, other pets, and strangers are at a 3, so average. Ease of training is at a 1, so pretty easy. Watchdog abilities at a 4, so pretty good watchdog. Protection abilities at a 1, not very good at protecting. Grooming requirements are at a disgusting 4, so pretty big on grooming requirements. Cold and heat tolerance are at a 3, so pretty average. The healthy weight of a male Sealyham Terrier is 23 to 24 pounds. And for a healthy weight of a female Sealyham Terrier is 18 to 22 pounds. The height of both a male and female Sealyham Terrier is average, approximately 10.5 inches. Because if it wasn't inches, we'd be living in the world of giants. And I'm going actually crazy. This next dog looks like the other dog that we've talked about, and it is the Skye Terrier. Get it? Skye, floating island, ha ha ha, funny, right? The Skye Terrier. Again, I'm having an issue with the Terrier Group because I swear I've learned about every single terrier at this point. But, you know, now it's just, oh, it's this terrier from before, but with a color difference. It's this terrier from before, but with a color difference. Don't worry. I think I said, like, last time, we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, and today being the 5th, we only have 5 more terriers to learn about. So, it ain't no biggie. It ain't no Biggie Smalls. I love it when they call me Big Papa. I like his music. Anyways, is that Biggie Smalls? Oh god, I hope it is. I hope I didn't just absolutely offend a rapper. That's like the worst person to offend. Anywho, with a big ol' yawn. The history of the Skye Terrier is that Scotland has been long the stronghold of small plucky terriers, and the Skye Terrier is among the oldest of them. They developed along with the west coastal area. They were where they hunted fox and otter from among the rocky cairns. The purest of the dogs were found in the Isle of the Skye, and the dogs were thus dubbed Skye Terriers. It was first described in the 16th century, when it was already noteworthy for its long coat, Some confusion exists tracing its history because, for a time, several different breeds were grouped under the same Skye Terrier name. The true Skye Terrier became prominent in 1840 when Queen Victoria fancied the breed, keeping both drop and prick-eared dogs. This enhanced its popularity both in the high society and among commoners, and the Skye soon became to America. The American Kennel Company, or the AKC, recognized the breed in 1887, and it quickly rose to the top of the show scene. Despite its strong start and the breed's distinctive appearance, its popularity has waned, and is now among the least known terriers. The most famous Skye of all time was Greyfriars Bobby, who slept on his master's grave for 14 years until his own death. He continues his vigil still, being buried where he waited next to his master. The statue commemorates his most loyal of dogs. I think I've heard the story of it, and as a matter of fact, and I know it doesn't make any sense to talk about, in Grand Theft Auto 5, you can actually go to the graveyard above the golf course beside Michael's house. I don't know how to describe it. It's above the golf course, up 2 roads, and then to the left before you head up the mountain that you would take to go to Sandy Shores. And you can find I guess now I know it's a Skye Terrier. You can find him there above someone's grave, and it will wait there. It will wait there for days and days and days on end, and it'll only go away if you shoot at the sky. You can kick at it, you can do a lot of things to it, and it won't move, but it'll, even if it's raining where other animals in the game will run away, he'll stay perfectly still. Don't ask me why I know that. I just really like to play GTA 5. But what's the temperament? Probably better than my character in Grand Theft Auto, I'll tell you that much. Well, the Skye Terrier's temperament is that its soft look bellies its tough nature. It's fearless and deadly rodent hunter. It's also a mild-mannered house pet. One of the few terriers calm enough to live in the city, still needs daily exercise in a safe area or on a leash. However, it's a sensitive yet stubborn. The Skye is affectionate with its family, but cautious with strangers. Gets along fairly well with other dogs in the same household, but it may not mingle well with the strange dogs. It is extremely courageous and game, and makes a good watching dog. Whoever wrote this needs to learn how to make commas. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep this dog, which I'm going to put a bet has a lot of grooming needs, in check? Well, this is a hunting dog at heart and enjoys a daily outing. Exploring a safe area also needs a short, moderate walk to stay in shape. The Skye enjoys life as a house dog and prefers not to live outdoors. Regular combing, about twice a week, is all that is needed to keep the Skye looking good. An occasional bath will soften the coat too much, as it often the case with other terriers. The hair around the eyes and mouth may need extra cleaning. Oh god, I just got the hiccups. Ugh, you get the hiccups from talking too much. So shut up and read! But I don't want to read, because it's the worst part of this. It's the health. The thing that can hurt our little puppy poo-poo jabba boo-boos. The major concerns are nothing. Minor concerns are premature closure of distal radius. Distal radius, I'm sorry. Premature closure of distal radius? So, it'll go blind sooner? I don't know what that means. They're occasionally seen with nothing. When you take them to the test, they don't actually need any specific... When you go get them tested or to the vet every 2 years or whatever, they actually don't need any specific test done to them. And their lifespan is 12 to 14 years, which is a little lower than average for the Terrier Group. So, Well, what's the form? What's the function? What do they look like without the pictures? Well, the Skye Terrier is a stylish and elegant dog that is, first of all, a working terrier. It is solidly built, and a substantial bone twice as long as it is tall. The Skye's short legs enable it to go around the pursuit of a fox and a badger, and the long back imparts flexibility within a confined space. Its strong jaws further aid it in dispatching its prey. Its movement is free and effortless. A hard outer coat and close undercoat afford protection from the teeth and the quarry, as well as the harsh weather. The outer coat lies straight and flat, 5.5 inches or more in its length. Now, for the final part of today's episode, the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst unless it comes to grooming, in which case it's flipped. Blah. Energy levels out of 2. Exercise requirements are out of 2. Low on exercise, but low on energy. Playfulness is out of 3, so pretty average. Affection levels out of 4. Very loving. Friendliness towards dogs, other pets, and strangers is at a 1. Wow, not friendly. Ease of training's out of 3, so pretty average. Watchdog ability's out of 5, so pretty high up there. Protection ability's out of 1, which makes sense. Grooming requirements is out of 3, no bueno. Cold tolerance is out of 4, with a heat tolerance out of 1, makes sense. He's mostly fur. The weight of a healthy male Skye Terrier is 35 to 40 pounds, and the weight of a healthy female Skye Terrier is 25 to 30 pounds. The average height of a male Skye Terrier is about 10 inches, and for a female is 9.5 inches, with an overall average of 10 to 11 inches, and not feet, or else we'd be living in the world of giants. I don't even know where I got that from. Oh, great, this dog again, except now it has a wavier coat. But this picture shows he doesn't have a wavier coat. So why is he named that? Why is he named the soft-coated Wheaten Terrier? Which is not the breed of dog that is barking outside of my house. That is a purebred Chocoloon, which is a mix of a chocolate lab and a coonhound. I don't know why it's barking or who it's barking at, but I don't really care. So, and yes, the Chocoloon is not a real breed, it's just a breed I made up. Sounds like a chocolate bar though. Chocoloon, Chocoloon. Anyway, maybe I'll show a picture of my dog, the Chocoloon. His name's Squirt, because he's small. Yeah, thank you. Love you. Okay. The history of the soft-coated Wheaten Terrier, which sounds like a cereal brand, is that it's one of only 3 large terriers of Ireland. The soft-coated Wheaten Terrier originated as an all-round farm dog, perhaps serving its function as 100 years. Besides the ever-essential terrier function of extinguishing vermin, it also helped round up stock and guard the homestead. It was later even known to be trained as a gun dog. Its early history is largely undocumented, however. It is mentioned as a progenitor of the Kerry Blue Terrier. The Wheaten was a comparative latecomer of the show scene. Only in 1937 was it granted breed status in Ireland. For many years, an Irish championship required that a dog not only prove itself in the ring, but also in the field over badger, rat, and rabbit. The English Kennel Club, or the EKC, recognized the breed in 1943. And in 1946, the first Wheaten came to America. The breed did not instantly catch the public's attention, but instead it took its time building a firm basis of support. In 1973, the American Kennel Company, the AKC, granted recognition. The soft-coated Wheaten Terrier was remained a breed of only moderate popularity. I don't know, they all look the same to me. So what's the temperament? I know the temperament of my Chocoloon outside is very loud and annoying, but he's a puppy and I love him. Fun fact, even on some of the reading videos of the last book of the Gumdrop Angel, that puppy would literally be laying down on my chest while I read, because he's a good dog. The temperament, sorry. The Wheaten makes his playful companion at home and a fun-loving partner in the field. It's affectionate, congenial, and much gentler than most terriers. It's generally responsive to the owner's wishes, but it'd be headstrong at times. It is good with children, although some may be overly boisterous with small children, and usually good with other household dogs and pets. It may dig or jump. Okie dokie. Well, what's the upkeep? With all this fur, I'm assuming not good score in the grooming. Well, this is an athletic dog that needs a good daily workout, either in the form of a moderate or long walk or an invigorating game in the yard. It can be allowed loose only in the safe area because it loves to hunt and chase. The Wheaten can live outdoors in temperate climates. It's far better suited than an indoor dog. Its long coat needs brushing or combing every 2 days. It's a non-shedding dog. Loose hair becomes entangled in the coat, will mat if not combed out. Bathing and trimming every other month is necessary to maintain the desirable coat. And the silhouette pets have better managed of their coats are clipped about 3 inches, but then they lose the breed's typical outline. Now, for the worst part, the health. The things that could hurt our puppas. Their major concerns are protein-losing diseases like PLE and PLN. Minor concerns are renal dysplasia, or Addison's. They're occasionally seen with PRA and CHD. They're suggested tests are for blood and urine, protein screens, eyes, and hips, so a lot of medical. And the lifespan is 12 to 14 years. So, if you really don't like having money, just like how Jack's wife doesn't like Jack having money when we read yesterday, this dog may be for you. It's like buying a pug, which is something, oh god, we're going to have to talk about. My neighbor has pugs, and one tried to bite me, but they have such deformed jaws that they can't bite. It's kind of funny, to be honest. Well, what's the form? What's the function? What do they look like without the pictures? The soft-coated Wheaten Terrier is an all-round dog, square proportioned, graceful, and strong. Not exaggerated in any way. It's large enough to function as a general farm worker, yet agile enough to perform its job as a vermin exterminator. Its gait is free and lively with a good reach and drive. The tail held erect. Its abundant, soft, and single coat distinguishes it from all the other terriers. It's long and... okay, hold on. Distinguishes it from all the other terriers? They all look the same. It's long and silky with a gentle wave. The overall appearance is one of grace and strength and an alert and happy dog. Now, for the tier list. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming. Energy and exercise requirements are at a 3, so average. Playfulness is at a 4, so pretty playful. Affection levels at a 5, so really affectionate. Friendliness towards dogs and other threats is other pets is at a 3, so pretty good. Friendliness towards strangers is at a 4. As it said before, it is pretty headstrong. Ease of training is at a 3, so average. Watchdog ability is at a 4, so pretty good at watchdog. Protection ability is at a 2, so better than a small dog. Grooming requirements is at a 4. Oh my goodness. I'm pretty high up there. Cold tolerance is at a 3. Heat tolerance is at a 1. Not good in the heat, great in the cold. The healthy weight of a male soft-coated Wheaten Terrier is 35 to 40 pounds, and a female soft-coated Wheaten Terrier is 30 to 35 pounds. The average height of a male soft-coated Wheaten Terrier is 18 to 19 inches, and the average height of a female soft-coated Wheaten Terrier with a little bit of cheese and maybe a banana is 17 to 18 inches and not feet, or else we'd be living in Iron Giant, the movie, starring Robin Williams, I think so. Finally, a dog I can recognize. The next dog we'll be talking about is actually one I can easily recognize if you showed me a picture of it or if you showed me it in person. And that type of breed is about the the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Can you tell my voice is gone? I've done all 3 of those reading books and learning corners in one day, so my voice is gone. I sound like SpongeBob when he needs water. I need water. That sucks too, because my closest water is 6 million miles away, or maybe just on the other side of my room, and I'm lazy. But that doesn't matter now, because we're learning of the history of the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, is that in the early 1800s, the sport of rat killing had become quite popular among the working classes. Bull baiting, which had been popular in earlier times, did not lend itself to the cities, and fanciers of the rat pit became increasingly enamored of the dog fighting as more exciting alternate of rat killing. In their efforts to produce a fearless, quick, strong contender for the dog pit, they crossed the bulldog of the time with the black and tan terrier, thus producing a bull and terrier. Selective breeding results a small, nimble dog with incredibly strong jaws. Also produced a dog that was specifically not aggressive towards people because it had been handled safely when it was in the most aroused state. By the time the dog fighting was banned in England, these dogs had so endeared themselves to their fans that they continued to have a loyal following. Although some fanciers continued to fight them in clandestine gatherings, true aficionados sought a real venue of competition and found the answer in the show ring. Concerted efforts to produce a dog more amiable to the ring and attractive as a pet finally resulted in the breed's recognition by the English Kennel Club in 1935. But it was not until 1974 that the American Kennel Company, the AKC, confirmed similar status. Though the breed's reputation as a combatant may have dogged it into the present, those who live with one know it's a lover but not a fighter. I've been next to one. I've had it both be a lover and a fighter, so I don't know what that's talking about. But what's the temperament? How does it do with others? Well, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier is a fun, loving character that loves playing with its family and friends. Typical, playful, companionable, amiable, docile, and generally responsive to its owner's wishes. It loves a good game and is rivaled only by its needs for human companionship. It's also characteristically friendly towards strangers. Some of it can be strong-willed. Although it doesn't usually look for a fight, it is fearless and tenacious. It may not do well around strange dogs and sometimes even household dogs that might challenge it. It's generally good with children, although usually gentle, some with rambunctiousness. In the United Kingdom, the Stafford is known as the nanny dog in reference to its eagerness to ability to assume the role of a child's nursemaid. Huh. That's strange. It's also kind of good because it'll protect the child, so that's pretty good. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep my Staffordshire Bull Terrier nanny in check? Well, this is an athletic breed that needs a good walk on a leash every day. Also enjoys a good game in the yard, or a run in a safe area. Most Staffordshires are poor swimmers. Although the Staffordshire is capable of living outdoors in mild weather, it can be affected by the cold. And, more importantly, is a dog that craves human contact. Thus, it is far more better suited as a house dog. Coat care is minimal. Boo-doo-boop, boop. My phone went off. Well, what's the health? The worst part of it. What do we have to look for when we have our nannies get hurt? Well, the major concerns are CHD. Minor concerns are nothing. Occasionally seen with cataracts. Suggested tests are for the hips and eyes. Lifespan is 12 to 14 years, which is pretty good for a terrier, or below average for a terrier. And a note states that CHD seldom causes problems or symptoms. without the pictures. What does it look like? The form and function. The Staffordshire Terrier is slightly longer than is tall, relatively wide, and giving a low center of gravity and a firm stance. Small size imparts a surprising agility, while its heavy musculature provides great strength. A wide head provides ample room for attachment and jaw muscles. Its gait should be powerful and agile. Its coat is smooth, short, and close. Now, for the tier list, the final part of today's episode. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst unless it comes to grooming. Energy level and exercise requirements are both at a 3, so pretty average. Playfulness is at a 5, very playful. Affection level is at a 4, very loving. Friendliness towards dogs is at a 2, interesting. Friendliness towards other pets and strangers are at a 3. Ease of training, watchdog ability, and protection ability are all at a 3, so pretty average across the board. Grooming requirements is at a 1, which is where you want it to be. Cold and heat tolerance are both at a 2, which I guess it doesn't do good in the heat or the cold. The healthy weight of a male Staffordshire Bull Terrier is 35 to 40 pounds, and for a female Staffordshire Bull Terrier is 30 to 35 pounds. The average height of a male Staffordshire Bull Terrier is 18 to 19 inches, and for a female is 17 to 18 inches, and not feet, or else we'd be living in the world of giants. Speaking of giant, I want to give a giant gosh dang it to the freaking next dog we're learning about, which we've learned about like 15 times. We're out of the ring of dogs that we should... I don't want to learn about this dog. It's just going to be annoying. And that breed of dog is the Welsh Terrier. My throat hurts. I'm sad. Why am I sad? Because we're learning about the same dog again. That's okay, because it's only this dog and the next dog, and then we are out of the Terrier group and into, well, my opinion, the toy group, which is a worse group, but it has cuter dogs. And dogs that don't all look the same. Unless the toy group also holds chihuahuas, in which case I'm going to be back to my sadness of reading the same animal over and over and over. Well, that doesn't matter. Anyways, today we're learning about the Welsh Terrier. It looks like every other terrier. It looks exactly like... It looks like a short Wheaten Terrier. It looks like the Scottish Terrier, but taller. Looks like the Parson Russel Terrier, but a little thicker on the legs. Looks like the Norwich Terrier, but with longer legs. Looks like the Norfolk Terrier with longer legs. And it looks exactly like the miniature Schnauzer, but with shorter hair. Really? I mean, it's so short in reading, I'm surprised I'm even talking about it. Its form and function is the shortest I've ever seen, with it only being 2 sentences. All the same, the history of the Welsh Terrier, let's pray it's something different, even though we all know it's not, is it's one of only 2 terriers native to Wales. The Welsh Terrier, it's the other terrier native to Wales, with the first one being, I think, the Skye Terrier or the soft-coated Wheaten Terrier. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, one of only 2 terriers native to Wales, the Welsh Terrier probably descended from an old black and tan rough terrier that was popular in Britain in the 18th and 19th centuries. By the late 1700s, a distinctive strain known as the Ynsfor was running with otterhounds in North Wales. By the same time, a similar dog, the Old English broken-haired terrier, was being bred in the North of England. The 2 strains were so similar that they began to be shown. The same dog could be complete successfully as either breed, and they're classified together. Eventually, they all became known as Welsh Terriers, regardless of their origin. After all, I'm becoming a dog. Both strains had shared similar backgrounds and were used to hunt otter, fox, and badger. Sheesh, I wonder what other terrier has been known for hunting fox, otter, and terrier. Or otter... you know what I'm talking about. In 1886... What? The English Kennel Club recognized the breed. The early dogs were so rough to competitive in the show ring, and breeders sought to improve the Welsh line, not only selective breeding, but also with crosses of the racier wire Fox Terrier. The result was a dog that in some ways resembles a miniature Airedale Terrier. It became a competitive show dog, but in the same reason other attained the heights of the show ring success that long-legged terriers have achieved. Well, now that it's a terrier of Wales that has hunted otters and foxes, then went into the show ring, never heard that before. What's the temperament? How does it do with kids? I'm gonna tell you this, probably either not well at all or pretty good. The Welsh, although more mild manners than many terriers, it's still playful and mischievous, enough to provide plenty of entertainment and challenges, yet it is calm enough to be a reliable house pet. It is independent, inquisitive, and sensitive, reserved with strangers, and possibly scrappy with other dogs and pets. Needs daily exercise in a safe area, and it tends to dig and bark. Well, what's the upkeep? How do I keep my Welsh Terrier in check? Well, the Welsh Terrier needs a moderate walk on a leash every day in the invigorating play session. If allowed to run off leash, it should be in a safe area because it tends to hunt. The Welsh can live happily outdoors during nice weather and should sleep inside in cold weather. And it does best when allowed to access to a house and yard. Its wiry jacket needs combing 2 to 3 times weekly, plus shaping every 3 months. Shaping for pets is by clipping, and for show dogs is by stripping. Clipping softens the coat texture and alters the color, and the ears of the puppies may need to be trained in order to ensure proper adult shape. Now, for the worst part of it, the health. Major concerns are nothing. Minor concerns are lung luxation and glaucoma. They're occasionally seen with allergies and seizures, which is sad. My dog also has that. Suggested tests are for the eye, and the lifespan is 12 to 14 years. Now, what's the form? What's the function? What do they look like without pictures? Well, this is a square proportion, compact, sturdy dog of medium size, capable of running at a good speed for long distances, and then bolting or dispatching its quarry. Its gait is free and effortless, with a good reach and drive. Its coat is double with a short, soft undercoat and a hard, dense, wiry outer coat. The expression and demeanor are confident and alert. Now, for the final section of today's episode, the tier list. 5 is best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming. Now, this is an easy list. Energy level, exercise requirements, playfulness, affection level, and friendliness towards dogs are all at a 3, so pretty average. Friendliness towards other pets and strangers, however, are at a 1, which is pretty bad. Ease of training is at a 1, so pretty easy. Watchdog ability is at a 5, so pretty good at watching, but the protection ability is at a 1, so not very good at protection. Grooming requirements is at a 4, which is always terrible. And cold and heat tolerance is at a 3, so pretty average. The healthy weight of a male and female Welsh Terrier is 20 pounds, and the height of the average male Welsh Terrier is 15 to 15.5 inches, and for female, it just says the word smaller. Now, for the next dog we'll be talking about, it kind of looks a little different, I would like to say. I think I've actually pet one of these dogs recently in real life. And it's also the final animal for the Terrier group, and it is West Highland White Terrier. Now, you might be curious or confused. Why are we doing this on a Saturday? Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his apple juice and gin. Well, because this is the final dog of the Terrier group, and when I get done with a section of a book, like in a later on, we'll be reading in the learning corner like religious books and books on guns and tanks and stuff. And when I end those sections, I'm gonna take the whole weekend to do the whole section. It's a whole thing. This time around, we're doing a whole weekend on terriers. So tomorrow's episode will be an entire video on terriers. I probably should explain that last week, but you know how it is. So tomorrow it's a combination of every terrier put together. Definitely you're gonna hear me moan and complain and cry the entire time of, oh, this is like the last one from last time. Oh yeah, trust me, you are. Because I complained a lot during the terrier. But you know what? It's been fun learning about the different terriers. If I were to say I had a favorite of all the terriers, I would more than likely say my favorite terrier would gotta be probably the Dandie Dinmont Terrier. Nothing specific on him. It's just it's a funny name. I like the Dandie Dinmont Terrier. Oh do do da day. Speaking of the Dandie Dinmont Terrier, this dog looks a lot like him, except with more of a fuller body. Play a sexy back when you show the picture of the dog. I don't know if he will or won't. I don't know. Anyways, the history of the West Highland White Terrier. Oh, I'm sorry. Editing Stonesy, which is me in 30 minutes. I'm sorry. Today we are learning about the West Highland White Terrier. Yada yada yada. Dog looks funny. Looks like the Dandie Dinmont Terrier. Oh do do da day. Now, the history of the West Highland White Terrier, opposed to the West Highland Grey, Green, or Black Terrier, is that the West Highland White Terrier shares its root with other terriers of Scotland, proving itself on fox, badger, and various vermin. And let me guess, otter. At one time, the Westie, Skye, Cairn, and Scottish Terriers were all considered one breed with a considerable diversity. Selective breeding based on such qualities as coat type or color would have produced distinctive strains that would have been easily maintained in relative isolation of the various parts of a Scottish mainland and the western islands of the country. The Westie first gained attention in 1907 as the Potalock Terrier, named for its home of Cole E.D. Malcolm, who had been breeding the short-legged white terriers for many years. The breed had gone under several different names, including Roseneth, Potalock, White Scottish, Little Skye, and Cairn. In fact, the American Kennel Company first registered it as a Rosenhoff Terrier in 1908, but the name was changed to West Highland White Terrier in 1909 to make people write news about it get angry. Since that date, it made quite a name for itself, establishing itself as one of the most competitive terriers in the show ring, and one of the most popular terriers in the home. The homeland of Scotland! Now, what's the temperament? Is it as angry as a Scotsman? I don't know if Scotsmen that are really angry. I just know one Scottish man, and he's, well, here's an example. Yeah, that's my only Scottish representation, so, yeah, have fun with that. Anyways, what's the temperament? Is he any good? Well, with kids? Well, the busy Westie is happy. The busy Westie is happy? I almost said busy bestie. The busy bestie is happy, curious, and always in the thick of things. It's affectionate and demanding. One of the friendliest terriers. If it is not friendly. One of the friendliest terriers. It is not friendly. However, towards small animals, it enjoys a daily romp in a safe area to walk on a lead, as well as the playtime at home. It is independent and somewhat stubborn, and it can be vocal and dig. Really? Such a clean dog. I'm surprised it can dig at all. Well, what's the upkeep? I know the grooming is going to be really high on this one. Well, the Westie enjoys its outdoors, but it can also function as an indoor dog if it's taken regular exercise. It needs either a short or moderate walk on a leash or a good game. It's in the yard every day. It should sleep inside in all the mildest climates. Its wire coat needs combing 2 to 3 times weekly, plus shaping every 3 months. Shaping for pets is by clipping, and for show dogs it's by stripping. In some areas, it may be difficult to keep the coat white, especially muddy ones. Well, what's the health? What do we have to worry about with our little puppy friends? Major concerns are, oh man, a lot of big words here. Globoid cell leukodystrophy, leg perthes, CMO, and skin disease. Minor concerns are copper toxicosis, cataract, patellar luxation, and KCS. I think copper toxicosis is because he digs so much. They're occasionally seen with deafness. Their suggested tips when you take them to the doctors every 2, 4, 6, or 12 months is hip, knee, and eye. Lifespan is 12 to 14 years, which is kind of low for a terrier. What's the form? What's the function? What do they look like without the pictures? Well, the Westie is compact, short-coupled, and small enough to fit between rocks and a narrow passageway. That's the typical fox den in its area of origin. These passages are often so narrow that the dog should not turn around. Short legs, aided by maneuverability in the cramped passages, have formidable teeth and jaws in order to face a fox in close quarters. Its harsh double coat, especially in the hard, straight outer coat, provided protection of the fox's teeth, especially around the head, as well as from the elements. The tail needed to be sufficiently long to provide the handhold by which the dog could be pulled from the shallow holes. Now, for the final tier list of the Terrier Group. 5 is the best, 4 is better, 3 is average, 2 is worse, and 1 is the worst, unless it comes to grooming. The energy level of the West Highland Terrier is at a 4, so pretty high in energy. Exercise and playfulness is at a 3, so pretty average. Affection level is at a 5, so it really loves you. Friendliness towards dogs and other pets, not other threats, and other pets is at a 3. It's pretty good. Or pretty average. Friendliness towards strangers is at a 4. Ease of training and watchdog ability is at a 4. So, real good at watchdog, pretty difficult to train. Protection ability is at a 1, so, not very good at protecting. Grooming requirements is at a 4, it's pretty high. Cold and heat tolerance are at a 3, so pretty average. The healthy weight of a male and female West Highland White Terrier is 15 to 21 pounds, and the average height of a male West Highland White Terrier is 11 inches, and of a female is 10 inches. That concludes the Terrier Group, which is sad because I liked the Terrier Group. I really did. Well, it is really sad because I like the Terrier Group as much as I didn't. They all look the bloody same. And they're all really, I wouldn't say annoying, but they just all look the same. But the next group of dogs we're going to be looking through is the Toy Group. And it looks like it's just a bunch of smaller dogs and all such things. And then after that, we are reviewing the non-sporting group. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with learning about dogs. Which is kind of sad, to be honest with you. So it's 330 minus 2. So it's 330 pages minus 2. And we're at page 214 with the next breed we'd be learning about. So 214 minus 330, if I'm not mistaken, is 214. So that's 16. So 116, and then it's 116 minus, or divided by 2, which is 58. So we only have 58 more dogs to read about, which, you know, you think is a lot until you realize that is only 3 more books, which is kind of sad. Anyways, hope you guys have a fantastic, wonderful day. Be polite, be efficient. Enjoy the video tomorrow, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!